Hey, Soul Tribe, welcome back to the channel. I am super excited you're here today because we're diving deep with a brand new pick-a-card reading. In today's session, we are going to explore messages from their soul to yours. This is a really beautiful opportunity to connect with the deeper energies in your relationships, so let's get ready to uncover some hidden truths. So, what exactly are we going to be doing? Basically, we're tapping into what their soul truly wants to communicate to yours. Think of it as bypassing the everyday chatter and going straight to the heart of the matter, you know. I'm really feeling like this is going to be incredibly insightful. Okay, let's take a look at our piles for today, each marked with a unique crystal that I just adore. First, we have pile 1 with the turquoise star. This stone is all about centering yourself as you navigate soul contracts. Next up is pile 2, featuring an Aventurine palm stone. This is a stone for nurturing and mending any heart wounds that need a little TLC. For pile 3, we've got the Amazonite dragon, which is amazing for unveiling any hidden desires that you or they might be keeping secret. And finally, for pile 4, we have the Opal heart, which is perfect for grounding and strengthening those important soul connections. Go ahead and take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and see which crystal you feel most drawn to. Trust your intuition. There's no pressure here. It's totally okay if more than one pile catches your eye. Maybe those are meant for you too, so let's all take a deep breath, make a wish, and trust that the messages you need are right here waiting for you. Let's dive in. Hey there, turquoise star friends. Welcome. This beautiful crystal is all about centering yourself, which is so perfect for what we're diving into today, navigating soul contracts. It's like, what lessons are you here to learn, and how are you meant to grow? Ooh, this is gonna be good, I can feel it. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Hanged Man. At first glance, I'm seeing a journey here, right? Like, you're stepping into your power, but it's coming after a period of reflection or maybe even feeling a little bit stuck. But the end result is big, expansive, and totally aligned with your soul's purpose. Let's start with the Queen of Wands, because wow, she is fierce. She's confident, creative, passionate, and knows exactly what she wants. This card is all about owning your power, stepping into your authenticity, and not being afraid to shine your light. You know, being unapologetically you. And with the turquoise star, that centering energy, it's like you're finding that inner confidence by connecting to your core values. What truly matters to you? What makes your soul sing? Because that's where your power lies. Maybe you've been dimming your light for a while, trying to fit in or please others. But the universe is saying, no, it's time to be you. This could be about a specific project, a relationship, or just a general shift in your mindset. It's about embracing your creativity, your passion, and your leadership abilities. Think about it. What are you naturally good at? What do people always come to you for? That's probably a clue to where your Queen of Wands energy is strongest. And the soul contract part of it is like, you're meant to share that gift with the world. It's not just for you, it's for the greater good. But then we have the Hanged Man, which is interesting, right? It's not exactly the most exciting card. It's all about surrender, sacrifice, and seeing things from a different perspective. It can feel like you're stuck, or like you're waiting for something to happen, but really, it's a time of deep inner reflection. Maybe you've been pushing too hard, trying to force things to happen, and the universe is saying, whoa, hold on a second. You need to pause, reassess, and see things from a new angle. This could be about letting go of control, trusting the process, and surrendering to the divine timing of things. You know, sometimes the best thing you can do is just wait. But here's the thing. The Hanged Man isn't about being passive. It's about actively choosing to surrender. It's about recognizing that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. It's about being open to new possibilities and trusting that everything is happening for a reason, even if you can't see it right now. I feel like that connects so well with navigating soul contracts, because sometimes the biggest lessons come from the times when we feel the most lost. Maybe this has been a period of feeling lost, confused, or uncertain about your path. Maybe you've been questioning your purpose or feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be. That's okay. That's part of the process. The Hanged Man is here to tell you that it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to surrender to the unknown. It's in that surrender that you'll find the clarity you're seeking. And it's also like helping you get aligned for stepping into your Queen of Wands energy, too, because you need that clarity to be able to step into your power authentically. Does that make sense? Now, the Three of Wands, oh, I love this card. It's all about expansion, vision, and taking your plans to the next level. It's about looking out at the horizon and seeing all the possibilities that are out there. It's about taking calculated risks and trusting that your efforts will pay off. This card is telling you that you're on the right track. You've laid the foundation, you've done the work, and now it's time to expand your horizons. This could be about launching a new business, taking your relationship to the next level, or simply expanding your comfort zone. But it's not just about taking action. It's about taking aligned action. It's about making sure that your actions are in alignment with your values, your passions, and your soul's purpose. And that Queen of Wands energy, it's fueling that action. It's giving you the confidence and the courage to step outside your comfort zone and pursue your dreams. And remember the Hanged Man, that period of reflection, it was necessary. It helped you get clear on your vision so that you can now step into this expansive energy with confidence and clarity. It's like you had to pause to see the bigger picture, and now you're ready to create it. You know. Think about it. What's your vision for the future? What do you want to create? What impact do you want to make on the world? The Three of Wands is telling you that it's all possible. You just have to be willing to take the leap of faith and trust that the universe has your back. Maybe you've been hesitant to pursue your dreams because you're afraid of failure. But the Three of Wands is telling you that failure is just a stepping stone to success. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to stumble along the way. What matters is that you keep moving forward, keep learning, and keep growing. So how do these cards connect to your soul contract? Well, I think it's about stepping into your power, learning from your experiences, and creating a life that is aligned with your soul's purpose. It's about recognizing that you're here for a reason, and that you have something unique to offer the world. And that pause, that Hanged Man energy, helped clarify your vision and prepare you for this expansive journey. This is all really resonating with the turquoise star and that centering energy, finding your center, your truth, and then acting from that place. Maybe you've been through a lot of challenges in your life. Maybe you've faced obstacles and setbacks that have made you question your path. But the universe is telling you that those challenges were necessary. They were part of your soul's journey. They helped you grow, learn, and evolve into the person you are today. And now, you're ready to step into your Queen of Wands energy and create a life that is truly fulfilling. This reading feels like it's about trusting the journey, even when it doesn't make sense. It's about knowing that everything is happening for a reason, and that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Even when you're feeling stuck or uncertain, there's a bigger plan at play, and you are on the verge of something amazing. So, trust yourself, trust the universe, and get ready to create some magic. I'm so excited for you. And remember that turquoise star is there to remind you to stay centered, to stay grounded, and to stay connected to your truth. Because when you're aligned with your soul's purpose, anything is possible. It really is. Now I'm so curious to see what else is coming up for you, because this is just the beginning. I feel like there's so much more to unpack here, so let's move on to the next card and see what other messages the universe has for you. I can't wait. Okay, so Justice. Oh, this is gonna add some interesting layers, I can feel it. Justice, at its core, is about equilibrium, right? It's about cause and effect, and it's about owning your actions. It's about what is fair, what is true. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you're on this path, but are you walking it with integrity? So let's see how this connects with the other cards. First, the Queen of Wands. She's all about confidence and shining your light, but Justice is asking, are you using that power responsibly? Are you considering the impact of your actions on others? Sometimes the Queen of Wands can be a little intense, right? A little too focused on her own desires. And Justice is here to say, hey, make sure you're not trampling on anyone else's dreams in the process. It's about finding that balance between your own needs and the needs of others. Maybe you've been so focused on your own goals that you haven't stopped to think about how your actions might be affecting the people around you. This card is a gentle reminder to take a step back and assess the situation. Are you being fair? Are you being honest? Are you treating everyone with respect? Think about it this way. Maybe you're starting a new business, that Three of Wands energy, and you're so excited about it that you're not paying attention to the details. You're cutting corners, or you're not being transparent with your clients. Justice is going to step in and say, "Whoa, hold on a second. You need to make sure you're doing things the right way." It's not about punishing you, it's about guiding you towards a more sustainable and ethical path. It's like that Queen of Wands energy can sometimes be a little blind to the bigger picture, you know. So justice is like a gentle nudge to make sure you're seeing everything clearly. And what about the Hanged Man? That card was all about surrender and seeing things from a different perspective. Well, justice is showing you the consequences of resisting that surrender. Maybe you've been fighting against the flow, trying to control everything, and now you're facing the repercussions of that resistance. Maybe you're dealing with legal issues, or relationship problems, or just a general sense of unease. Justice is telling you that it's time to face the music. It's time to take responsibility for your actions and make amends if necessary. But it's not about dwelling on the past. It's about learning from your mistakes and moving forward with a renewed sense of integrity. Think of it like this. Maybe you've been avoiding a difficult conversation with someone you care about. You've been putting it off because you're afraid of the confrontation. But justice is saying that the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. It's time to be honest, to be open, and to address the issue head-on. It might be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for your growth and for the health of the relationship. And honestly, that Hanged Man energy was preparing you for this. It was giving you the space to reflect and see things from a new perspective, so that you can now approach the situation with clarity and compassion. Now let's talk about the Three of Wands. This card is all about expansion and taking your plans to the next level. But justice is asking, is that expansion aligned with your values? Is it benefiting everyone involved or just you? Maybe you're so focused on your own success that you're not considering the impact of your actions on the environment or on your community. Justice is here to remind you that true success is about more than just money and power. It's about making a positive difference in the world. It's about leaving a legacy that you can be proud of. It's like you're building this amazing empire, but are you building it on a foundation of sand or on solid rock? Justice wants to make sure that you're building something that will last, something that is ethical and sustainable. Maybe you need to reevaluate your business practices, or your relationships, or your personal values. It's about making sure that everything is in alignment with your soul's purpose. And remember that turquoise star, that centering energy. This is where it really comes into play. You need to connect with your inner truth, your core values, and make sure that your actions are in alignment with those values. Okay, so how does all of this relate to navigating soul contracts? Well, I think justice is showing you that your soul contract isn't just about achieving your goals and fulfilling your dreams. It's also about learning lessons of integrity, fairness, and responsibility. It's about owning your actions and making amends when you've made mistakes. It's about creating a life that is in alignment with your highest self. And it's about understanding that every choice you make has consequences, both for yourself and for others. Maybe you're realizing that you've been operating from a place of ego, rather than from a place of soul. Maybe you've been chasing after things that don't really matter, or you've been neglecting the things that do. Justice is here to help you course correct. It's here to guide you back to your true path. And honestly, this card is such a powerful reminder that we're all interconnected, you know, that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves. So it's so important to be mindful of the choices we make and to strive to live a life that is in harmony with the universe. This card is also about taking responsibility for your own healing. Maybe you've been blaming others for your problems, or you've been avoiding your own inner work. Justice is telling you that it's time to step up and take ownership of your life. It's time to forgive yourself, to forgive others, and to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create your own reality, but that you also have the responsibility to use that power wisely. Think about it. Maybe you've been holding on to resentment or anger towards someone who hurt you in the past. Justice is saying that it's time to let go of that resentment because it's only hurting you. It's time to forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. And honestly, that Queen of Wands energy can help you with this. It can give you the strength and the courage to stand up for yourself, to set boundaries, and to protect your energy. But it's also about recognizing that everyone is on their own journey and that we all make mistakes. So, with the turquoise star in mind, that centering energy, this card is urging you to find your inner balance, to weigh your actions against your values, to ensure that your path is not just successful, but also just. It's like you're being called to a higher standard, a more conscious way of living. And it's about trusting that the universe is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when you're facing challenges or setbacks, know that everything is happening for a reason. Know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and that you're learning the lessons you need to learn. This reading is all about finding that equilibrium within yourself and in your life. It's about recognizing that true power comes from integrity, honesty, and compassion. It's about creating a life that is aligned with your soul's purpose and that benefits everyone involved. And honestly, I feel like this is such an important message for everyone right now, because the world needs more people who are willing to stand up for what's right, to speak their truth, and to create a more just and equitable world. And that all starts with you, with your own inner work. Wow, okay. So we've got the Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Three of Wands, and now Justice. It's like we're building this incredible foundation for something amazing. We're stepping into our power, learning from our experiences, expanding our horizons, and now we're making sure that everything is aligned with our values. This is so powerful. I'm so excited to see what's coming next, because I feel like we're just scratching the surface here. I'm sensing there are still some pieces of the puzzle that we need to uncover. Okay, let's pull the next card. I can't wait to see what the universe has in store for you. All right, here we go, Queen of Pentacles. Oh, I love her. She is like grounded, abundant, nurturing. Like she's got it all together, you know? She's that Earth Mother energy. So how does this fit in with everything else we've got so far? The Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Three of Wands, and Justice. Okay, so immediately, I'm seeing how the Queen of Pentacles kind of grounds that Queen of Wands energy. The Queen of Wands is all fire and passion, but the Queen of Pentacles is like, okay, but what are we actually building here? You know, like, is that confidence and power based on something real, something sustainable? It's almost like the Queen of Pentacles is asking, are you just shining for the sake of shining, or are you actually creating something of value? Maybe you've been so focused on your own ambition that you haven't stopped to think about the practical details. Like, how are you actually going to make this happen? What resources do you need? Who do you need to support you? The Queen of Pentacles is all about creating security and stability, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. Maybe you're being called to use your power to create a more comfortable and nurturing environment for others. It's not just about personal success, it's about creating a legacy of abundance. And what about the Hanged Man? That card was all about surrender and seeing things from a different perspective. Well, the Queen of Pentacles can sometimes be a little resistant to change, you know? She likes things to be stable and predictable. So maybe you're being called to surrender your need for control when it comes to your material security. Maybe you're so focused on building a solid foundation that you're missing out on new opportunities or different paths. It's like, are you so busy Chinese letter YOUR resources that you're not open to new ways of thinking or being? The Hanged Man is asking you to consider that maybe, just maybe, your idea of security is limiting you. What if being overly focused on material possessions is preventing you from seeing a bigger picture? What if true abundance comes from letting go, from trusting that your needs will be met even if you don't have everything perfectly planned out? Maybe this is about surrendering your attachment to a certain lifestyle or a certain level of comfort. Maybe it's about trusting that you can thrive even if you don't have all the answers. Now, the Three of Wands is all about expansion and taking your plans to the next level. And the Queen of Pentacles is asking, is that expansion sustainable? Is it benefiting everyone involved or just you? Maybe you're so focused on growing your business or expanding your reach that you're not paying attention to the impact of your actions on the environment or on your community. The Queen of Pentacles is here to remind you that true success is about more than just money and power. It's about creating a legacy of tangible, real-world impact. It's about building something that will last, something that is ethical and sustainable. It's like, are you building an empire that is based on exploitation? Or are you building a community that thrives on collaboration and mutual support? Maybe you need to reevaluate your business practices to make sure that they are aligned with your values. Maybe you need to invest in your community or support local businesses or find ways to give back. The Queen of Pentacles is guiding you towards a more responsible and sustainable path to expansion. Maybe it's about slowing down a little bit and making sure that you're building a solid foundation before you reach for the stars. Okay, and justice. How does the Queen of Pentacles play into that? Well, justice is all about fairness and accountability. And the Queen of Pentacles adds a layer of caring and nurturing to that energy. It's not just about balancing the scales, it's about making sure that everyone has enough. It's about creating a society where everyone has access to basic needs like food, shelter, and healthcare. It's like, are you just blindly following the rules, or are you considering the human impact of your decisions? Are you being fair, but also compassionate? The Queen of Pentacles is reminding you that justice isn't just about punishment, it's about rehabilitation and support. Maybe you're being called to advocate for those who are less fortunate, or to volunteer your time to a local charity, or to donate to a cause that you believe in. The Queen of Pentacles is guiding you towards a more just and equitable world. And it's not just about grand gestures, it's about the small, everyday acts of kindness and compassion that can make a big difference in someone's life. Like, are you treating everyone with respect, regardless of their background or their circumstances? Are you being mindful of your privilege and using it to help others? The Queen of Pentacles is urging you to find ways to create a more caring and just society. So, how does all of this relate to navigating your soul contract? Well, I think the Queen of Pentacles is showing you that your soul's purpose isn't just about achieving your dreams. It's about creating a secure and nurturing foundation for yourself and for others to thrive. It's about building a legacy of abundance, not just in terms of material wealth, but also in terms of emotional well-being and community support. Maybe you're realizing that your soul contract isn't just about personal success. It's about using your gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world. It's about creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to live a comfortable and fulfilling life. And honestly, this card is such a powerful reminder that we're all interconnected, that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves. So, it's so important to be mindful of the choices we make and to strive to live a life that is in harmony with the earth and with all living beings. This card is also about recognizing that true abundance comes from within. It's not about how much money you have, it's about how grateful you are for what you have. It's about appreciating the simple things in life, like a warm meal, a safe home, and loving relationships. The Queen of Pentacles is inviting you to cultivate a sense of gratitude and contentment, and to share your abundance with others. Okay, wow. So we've got the Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Three of Wands, Justice, and now the Queen of Pentacles. It's like we're building this incredibly rich and complex picture of your soul's journey. We're exploring your power, your values, your vision, and your responsibility to the world. This is so amazing, but I feel like there's still something missing. Like, we're not quite at the heart of the matter yet. I'm sensing there's still one more layer that we need to uncover. What is the final piece of this puzzle? Okay, let's pull the last card. I'm so excited to see what the universe has in store. I really am. Okay, the world. Oh my gosh, this is major. This card is all about completion, fulfillment, and reaching the end of a cycle, you know? It's like you've climbed the mountain, you've crossed the finish line, you've finally arrived. But it's not just about the ending, it's about the integration of all your experiences and the wisdom you've gained along the way. It's about celebrating your accomplishments and feeling grateful for the journey. It's like the universe is saying, you did it, you really did it. So, how does this connect with everything else we've got going on here? Queen of Wands, Hanged Man, Three of Wands, Justice, Queen of Pentacles. And now the World. Okay, so first, let's talk about the Queen of Wands. She's all about stepping into your power, shining your light, and being unapologetically you, right? Well, the World is like taking that energy and putting it on a global scale. It's about sharing your gifts and talents with the world and making a positive impact on a larger audience. It's like you've mastered your own little corner of the world, and now you're ready to expand your influence and inspire others. Maybe you've been working on a project or a business that you're really passionate about, and now it's finally ready to launch and reach its full potential. Or maybe you've been honing your skills and developing your talents, and now you're ready to share them with the world through teaching, mentoring, or creating art. The world is telling you that you're ready to step into your role as a global leader and to use your unique gifts to make the world a better place. And what about the Hanged Man? That card was all about surrender, sacrifice, and seeing things from a different perspective, right? Well, the world is like the ultimate reward for that surrender. It's like you've finally let go of your need for control, and you've trusted the universe to guide you, and now you're reaping the benefits of that faith. It's like you've been in this period of reflection and introspection, and now you're finally seeing the bigger picture and understanding how everything fits together. Maybe you've had to make some tough sacrifices along the way, but now you're realizing that those sacrifices were necessary for your growth and evolution. Or maybe you've had to let go of some old beliefs or patterns that were holding you back, and now you're feeling a sense of freedom and liberation. The world is telling you that all of your experiences, even the difficult ones, have led you to this moment of completion and fulfillment. It's like you've been through the fire, and now you've emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Now the Three of Wands is all about expansion, vision, and taking your plans to the next level, right? Well, the world is like the ultimate expansion. It's like you've taken your vision and turned it into a reality, and now you're seeing the fruits of your labor. It's like you've been planting seeds and nurturing them, and now you're finally harvesting the crop. Maybe you've been working on a long-term project, and now it's finally coming to fruition. Or maybe you've been building a business or a career, and now you're seeing it thrive and prosper. The world is telling you that your vision is becoming a reality, and that you're on the right path to achieving your goals. It's like you've been climbing a mountain, and now you've finally reached the summit and you can see the whole world spread out before you. Okay, and justice. How does the world connect with justice? Well, justice is all about fairness, accountability, and creating a world that is just and equitable for everyone, right? Well, the world is like the ultimate expression of that ideal. It's like you've been working to create a better world, and now you're seeing the positive impact of your efforts. It's like you've been fighting for justice and equality, and now you're seeing progress being made. Maybe you've been advocating for a cause that you believe in, and now you're seeing your voice being heard. Or maybe you've been working to create a more inclusive and compassionate community, and now you're seeing people come together and support each other. The world is telling you that your efforts to create a more just world are paying off, and that you're making a difference in the lives of others. It's like you've been planting seeds of justice, and now you're seeing them bloom and flourish. And finally, the Queen of Pentacles. She's all about abundance, security, and creating a stable and nurturing environment, right? Well, the world is like the ultimate manifestation of that abundance. It's like you've created a life that is filled with everything you need, and you're able to share your abundance with others. It's like you've built a solid foundation for yourself and your loved ones, and you're feeling secure and grounded. Maybe you've been working to create a comfortable and sustainable lifestyle, and now you're reaping the rewards of your efforts. Or maybe you've been focusing on your health and well-being, and now you're feeling vibrant and energized. The world is telling you that you've created a life that is truly fulfilling and abundant, and that you're able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's like you've built a garden that is overflowing with beauty and bounty, and you're able to share its gifts with everyone around you. So, how does all of this relate to navigating your soul contract? Well, I think the world is showing you that you've completed a major cycle in your soul's journey. You've learned the lessons you were meant to learn. You've overcome the challenges you were meant to overcome, and you've grown into the person you were meant to become. It's like you've graduated from one level of the game, and now you're ready to move on to the next. Maybe you're realizing that your soul contract isn't just about achieving your personal goals. It's about making a positive impact on the world and helping others to evolve. Or maybe you're realizing that your soul contract is about embracing your unique gifts and talents and sharing them with the world in a way that brings joy and fulfillment to both yourself and others. The world is telling you that you've fulfilled your soul's purpose in this particular cycle, and that you're ready to embark on a new adventure. And honestly, this card is such a powerful reminder that we're all connected, that our individual journeys are all part of a larger, collective journey. So, it's so important to celebrate our accomplishments, but also to remember that we're all in this together, and that we need to support and uplift each other along the way. This card is also about recognizing that true fulfillment comes from within. It's not about external achievements or material possessions. It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment. The world is inviting you to appreciate all that you have, and to be grateful for the journey that has brought you to this moment. And with the turquoise star in mind, that centering energy, this card is asking you to find that center within yourself, that sense of peace and completion, and to carry it with you as you move forward into the next chapter of your life. It's like you found your true north, and now you're ready to navigate the world with confidence and grace. Wow, okay. So we've got the Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Three of Wands, Justice, the Queen of Pentacles, and now the World. It's like we've woven this incredibly intricate tapestry of your soul's journey. We've explored your power, your perspective, your vision, your values, your abundance, and your completion. This is so profound, but I feel like there's still one more piece of the puzzle that we need to uncover. Like, what's next? What's the next chapter of your soul's journey? I'm sensing that the final card is going to reveal the answer to that question. I'm so excited to see what the universe has in store for you. This has been amazing. Okay, the moon. Ooh, this is interesting, right? This card is all about intuition, mystery, the subconscious, things that are hidden, It's like, what's going on beneath the surface? So let's see how this plays with what we already have. Because wow, we have a lot already. First, the Queen of Wands. She's all about confidence and shining your light, but with the moon here, it's like, is that confidence genuine, or is there some insecurity lurking beneath the surface? Are you really as confident as you appear to be, or are you maybe masking some doubts or fears? The moon can represent illusions, so maybe you're projecting an image of confidence that doesn't quite match how you feel inside. Or maybe you're attracting people or situations based on a false pretense, right? Like, they're seeing this confident Queen of Wands, but they're not seeing the vulnerable side of you. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the moon is asking you to be honest with yourself about what's really going on. Are you truly owning your power, or are you just putting on a show? Maybe it's about acknowledging the parts of yourself that you usually keep hidden, the parts that feel uncertain or afraid. The moon says those parts are important too. They're part of what makes you, you. And what about the Hanged Man? That card was all about surrender and seeing things from a different perspective. With the moon, it's like, what hidden fears or anxieties are preventing you from fully surrendering? The Hanged Man asks you to let go, but the moon is asking, what are you afraid of letting go of? Maybe you're afraid of the unknown, or of losing control, or of facing your deepest insecurities. The moon represents the shadow self, so it's possible that you're avoiding some uncomfortable truths about yourself. Maybe you're afraid of what you might find if you really delve into your subconscious. but the moon is telling you that it's okay to explore those hidden places, because that's where you'll find the keys to your personal growth. It's like the hanged man is asking you to jump, but the moon is showing you the dark water below and asking if you're brave enough to dive in. Now, let's look at the Three of Wands. That card is about expansion and taking your plans to the next level. But with the moon here, it's like, are you seeing the full picture, or are you only seeing what you want to see? You know, the moon can represent deception, so maybe you're overlooking some important details or ignoring some red flags. Are you being realistic about the challenges you might face, or are you only focusing on the positive aspects of your plans? It's important to be optimistic, but it's also important to be grounded in reality. The moon is asking you to trust your intuition, but also to be aware of the potential for illusion. Maybe there's something you're not seeing clearly, or someone who's not being entirely honest with you. Trust your gut, and don't be afraid to ask questions. It's like the Three of Wands is showing you the horizon, but the moon is casting shadows, making it hard to see what's really out there. And then there's justice. With the moon, justice gets a little murky, right? Because justice is all about truth and fairness, but the moon can cloud things, create illusions. So maybe you're not seeing a situation clearly, or maybe someone is being dishonest with you. The moon suggests that there might be hidden agendas or secrets at play. It's important to trust your intuition, but also to gather all the facts before making a decision. Are you sure you have all the information you need? Is there something being hidden from you? The moon is asking you to dig deeper and to uncover the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. Maybe you're being too harsh on yourself or on someone else. The moon is reminding you to be compassionate and understanding, and to see things from a more empathetic perspective. It's like justice is holding up the scales, but the moon is making it hard to see what's really being weighed. And the Queen of Pentacles, our grounded Earth Mother. The moon here is interesting. It's like even the most stable, secure person has their hidden depths, right? The moon is asking the Queen of Pentacles, what are you really nurturing? Is it just material security, or are you also nurturing your emotional and spiritual well-being? Maybe you're so focused on providing for others that you're neglecting your own needs. The moon is reminding you to take care of yourself and to make time for self-care and introspection. It's also possible that you're holding on to some old emotional wounds or traumas that are preventing you from fully embracing your abundance. The moon is inviting you to heal those wounds and to release any limiting beliefs that are holding you back. It's like the Queen of Pentacles has built this beautiful garden, but the moon is showing her that there are also some hidden weeds that need to be pulled. And finally, the World. This is a card of completion and fulfillment. But the moon is like, even when you reach the top of the mountain, there are still mysteries to explore, you know? The moon suggests that there's always more to learn and discover, even when you think you've reached the end of the road. Maybe you're feeling a sense of anticlimax after achieving a major goal. The moon is reminding you that the journey is just as important as the destination. It's also possible that you're feeling a little lost or uncertain about what's next. The moon is inviting you to trust your intuition and to follow your inner guidance. It's like the world is showing you the big picture, but the moon is reminding you that there are still plenty of details to explore. So, with all that in mind, how does the moon relate to navigating your soul contract? Well, I think the moon is showing you that your soul's journey isn't always a straight line. There are twists and turns, hidden pathways, and unexpected detours along the way. The moon is asking you to embrace the unknown and to trust that everything is happening for a reason, even when you can't see the bigger picture. It's about trusting your intuition and following your inner guidance, even when it doesn't make logical sense. Maybe you're being called to explore some hidden aspects of yourself or to face some unresolved emotional issues. The moon is reminding you that healing and growth often come from facing our deepest fears and insecurities. It's like your soul contract is the map, but the moon is showing you that there are uncharted territories to explore. This card can also be about dreams, right? Pay attention to your dreams. They might be giving you clues about your soul's purpose or revealing hidden aspects of your subconscious. Keep a dream journal and try to interpret the symbols and messages that come to you in your sleep. Your dreams can be a powerful source of guidance and inspiration. But be careful, because the moon also has a shadow side, you know? It can represent deception, anxiety, and emotional instability. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by your emotions or struggling to cope with stress. The moon is reminding you to take care of your mental and emotional health and to seek support if you need it. Don't be afraid to reach out to a therapist, counselor, or trusted friend. It's also possible that you're being deceived by someone or that you're not seeing a situation clearly. Be cautious and trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. You know, it's like the moon can be beautiful and mysterious, but it can also be dark and scary. Maybe you're experiencing some anxiety or fear about the future. The moon is reminding you to stay grounded in the present moment and to focus on what you can control. Don't get caught up in worrying about things that haven't happened yet. Take things one day at a time and trust that everything will work out in the end. It's all about finding that inner peace, right? So, with that turquoise star in mind, that centering energy, how do you navigate all this lunar energy? How do you stay grounded when the moon is pulling you in so many different directions? The key is to connect with your intuition, but also to stay grounded in reality. Trust your gut, but also gather all the facts before making a decision. Be open to exploring your subconscious, but also be aware of the potential for illusion. It's all about finding that balance between intuition and logic, between emotion and reason. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. The universe is always supporting you, even when you can't see it. Trust that everything is happening for a reason and that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And this is just one piece of the puzzle, right? I can't wait to see what else is coming up for you. Because, wow, this is getting really interesting. Okay, so the moon. After all that amazing energy, the moon is showing that there's always more to the story, right? So let's bring it all back, starting with that Queen of Wands. Okay, you're stepping into your power, you're feeling confident, you're ready to shine, but the moon is asking, what are you not seeing about your own power? You know. Are you really owning it, or are you just projecting an image? Maybe there are some hidden insecurities that are holding you back. It's like you're dressed in this amazing, powerful outfit, but are you comfortable in your own skin? The moon is asking you to embrace your vulnerability, to acknowledge your fears, and to love yourself, even with your imperfections. Maybe you've been so focused on projecting this image of confidence that you've been neglecting your own needs. The moon is reminding you to take care of yourself, to nurture your inner child, and to give yourself permission to be imperfect. It's like, it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to feel scared sometimes. It's okay to be human. Think about it like maybe you've been pushing yourself too hard, trying to live up to some unrealistic expectations. The moon is saying, hey, slow down, be kind to yourself. You're doing great. And that turquoise star, it's there to remind you to stay centered, to stay grounded, and to connect with your inner truth. It's about finding that balance between your confident exterior and your vulnerable interior. Now, the Hanged Man. Remember that surrender? That period of reflection. The moon is showing that there might be some hidden resistance to that surrender. Like, what are you really afraid of letting go of? Maybe you're afraid of losing control, or of facing your deepest fears, or of stepping into the unknown. The moon represents the shadow self, so it's possible that you're avoiding some uncomfortable truths about yourself. It's like, you know you need to surrender, but there's this voice in the back of your head that's saying, no, don't do it, it's too scary. The moon is inviting you to explore those fears, to understand where they're coming from, and to release them with love and compassion. Maybe you've been holding on to some old beliefs or patterns that are no longer serving you. The moon is asking you to let go of those beliefs, to embrace change, and to trust that everything is happening for a reason. Maybe this is about forgiving someone who hurt you in the past, or forgiving yourself for past mistakes. The moon is reminding you that forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. And then there's the Three of Wands, that expansive energy, that vision for the future. But the moon is showing that there might be some hidden obstacles or challenges that you're not seeing. Like, are you being realistic about your plans, or are you only focusing on the positive aspects? Maybe there are some hidden risks that you need to be aware of. The moon is asking you to trust your intuition, to pay attention to your dreams, and to listen to your gut feelings. If something feels off, it probably is. It's like you have this amazing vision for the future, but the moon is casting shadows, making it hard to see what's really out there. Maybe there's someone who's not being entirely honest with you, or maybe there's a situation that's not as it seems. The moon is reminding you to be cautious, to do your research, and to trust your instincts. It's also about being flexible and adaptable, because things might not always go according to plan. The moon is teaching you to roll with the punches and to find creative solutions to unexpected challenges. Remember that turquoise star. It's about staying centered and finding clarity amidst the chaos. Okay, and justice. So, you're striving for fairness and balance, but the moon is showing that there might be some hidden biases or prejudices that are influencing your decisions. Like, are you really being objective, or are you letting your emotions cloud your judgment? Maybe there's a situation where you're not seeing the full picture, or where someone is being treated unfairly. The moon is asking you to dig deeper, to uncover the truth, and to advocate for justice and equality. It's like you're trying to create a world that is fair for everyone, but the moon is showing that there are still some hidden inequalities that need to be addressed. Maybe this is about examining your own privilege and using it to help others. Or maybe this is about standing up for those who are marginalized or oppressed. The moon is reminding you that justice isn't just about following the rules. It's about creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. It's about being compassionate, empathetic, and understanding. Then, the Queen of Pentacles, all about abundance and security. The moon is asking, what are you really nurturing? Is it just material wealth, or are you also nurturing your emotional and spiritual well-being? Maybe you're so focused on providing for others that you're neglecting your own needs. The moon is reminding you to take care of yourself, to prioritize your own happiness, and to create a life that is truly fulfilling. It's like you've built this amazing foundation of abundance and security, but the moon is showing that there might be some hidden emotional wounds or traumas that are preventing you from fully enjoying it. Maybe you're holding onto some limiting beliefs about money or success. The moon is inviting you to heal those wounds, to release those beliefs, and to embrace your full potential for abundance. This is about knowing that you deserve to be happy, healthy, and prosperous. It's about creating a life that is aligned with your soul's purpose, and that brings joy to both yourself and others. And remember the turquoise star. It's there to help you find that inner sense of security and abundance. And finally, the world. Completion, fulfillment, reaching the end of a cycle. But the moon is like, even when you reach the top of the mountain, there are still mysteries to explore, right? There are still hidden depths to discover. The moon suggests that there's always more to learn, to grow, and to evolve. It's like you've achieved this amazing level of success and fulfillment, but the moon is reminding you that the journey is never really over. There's always another mountain to climb, another challenge to overcome, another level of awareness to reach. Maybe you're feeling a little lost or uncertain about what's next. The moon is inviting you to trust your intuition, to follow your inner guidance, and to embrace the unknown. This is about knowing that you're always supported by the universe, even when you can't see the bigger picture. It's about trusting that everything is happening for a reason and that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. This is where the turquoise star is absolutely key. Centering yourself and trusting your inner wisdom is paramount at this stage. So overall, with the moon here, it's like your soul contract is not just about achieving goals or fulfilling dreams. It's about embracing the shadows, trusting your intuition, and navigating the mysteries of the unknown, even after achieving a sense of wholeness. It's about understanding that the journey is ongoing and that there are always new depths to explore within yourself. So, lean into that intuitive knowing, pay attention to your dreams, and trust that even when things seem uncertain, you are always guided and protected. Embrace your shadow self, acknowledge your fears, and remember that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And through it all, remember to stay grounded and centered, connecting to the earth's energy and to the wisdom of your own heart. You are powerful, you are intuitive, and you are capable of navigating any challenge that comes your way. And honestly, I'm so excited to see what you create next. The journey is just beginning. Okay, so with the Aventurine Palm Stone, we're really talking about nurturing, right? It's all about soothing and healing those heart wounds. So keep that in mind as we dive into these cards, because it's all about gentle healing. It's not a harsh energy, it's a soft, supportive one. Okay? So wow, the King of Wands. Right off the bat, this is someone with a lot of fire. Not necessarily a fire signal though, it could be like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but just someone who is really passionate, driven, and confident. Okay? This card screams leadership, taking initiative, and just a real zest for life. It is a very warm and inviting energy to be around. Now, this could be you, stepping into your power, or it could definitely be someone who is coming into your life, or someone who is already in your life. But okay, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this is someone external, okay? This person, they light up a room, you know? People are drawn to them. They have this natural charisma that just makes you feel energized and inspired. They're not afraid to take risks, and they definitely encourage you to do the same. Now, the thing is, with this King of Wands energy, sometimes it can be a little intense, right? They can be so focused on their goals and their passions that they might, accidentally overlook your needs or your feelings. It's not that they mean to, but they can just get so caught up in their own stuff, right? So, if this person is in your life, it's important to, communicate your needs clearly, okay? Don't just assume that they know what you're thinking or feeling, because they probably don't. Not because they don't care, but because they're just so driven and focused, you know? And this person can also be really inspiring. They can push you to be your best self and to pursue your own dreams. So, it is like a double-edged sword. It's they're amazing, but they can also be a little overwhelming, right? But see, here's where it gets interesting, because we also have the Judgment card. Now, Judgment is all about, a major wake-up call, a rebirth, a transformation. It's the universe is saying, okay, it's time to, take stock of your life and decide what you really want. It's a moment of reckoning, where you're being called to step into your true purpose. So, how does this connect to the King of Wands? Well, maybe this person, this King of Wands energy, is actually triggering this transformation in you. Maybe they're shaking things up in your life and forcing you to reevaluate what you thought you knew. Or maybe you're realizing that you want to be more like them, more confident, more passionate, more willing to take risks. But Judgment isn't just about external influences, okay? It's also about internal shifts. It's about forgiving yourself for past mistakes and releasing old patterns that no longer serve you. It's about truly understanding who you are and what you're here to do. And this is where the Aventurine comes in, right? Because healing those heart wounds is all about self-forgiveness and self-acceptance. It's about being gentle with yourself as you go through this transformation. It's not about beating yourself up for the past, but about embracing the present and looking forward to the future. Now, the Hermit. The Hermit is all about introspection, solitude, and finding your own inner wisdom. It's about taking a step back from the chaos of the world and going within to find the answers you're seeking. The Hermit doesn't represent a bad situation and is not necessarily lonely either. So, maybe after this King of Wands energy comes into your life and triggers this Judgment moment, you need to retreat into yourself for a while to process everything. Maybe you need to take some time alone to reflect on what you've learned and to figure out what your next steps are. Or maybe the Hermit represents a part of you that's always been there, a part of you that values solitude and introspection. And maybe this King of Wands energy is actually helping you to embrace that part of yourself, to realize that it's okay to need time alone to recharge and to connect with your inner wisdom. See, these cards, they're all interconnected, okay? They're telling a story about transformation, self-discovery, and healing. The King of Wands is like the catalyst, the thing that sets everything in motion. The Judgment card is the moment of reckoning, the realization that things need to change. And the Hermit is the period of introspection and self-discovery that follows. And it all comes back to the Aventurine, right? Because this whole process is about healing those heart wounds, about being gentle with yourself as you go through this transformation. It's about nurturing yourself and finding your own inner strength. Now, okay, let's think about this in a different way, okay? Because there are so many possibilities here. Maybe you are the King of Wands, and you're inspiring someone else to go through their own judgment moment. Maybe you're the one who's shaking things up in their life and helping them to see things in a new light. And maybe that person needs to retreat into themselves for a while, to become the Hermit, to process everything that's happening. Or maybe you both go into this Hermit energy and do some soul-searching together. Or maybe the King of Wands represents a part of yourself that you're trying to embrace. Maybe you're trying to be more confident, more passionate, more willing to take risks. And maybe the Judgment card is telling you that it's time to let go of old beliefs and patterns that are holding you back. And maybe the Hermit is telling you that you need to connect with your own inner wisdom in order to make these changes. That you need to trust your intuition and follow your own path, even if it's different from what other people expect of you. See, it's all about finding your own truth, okay? It's about listening to your heart and trusting your gut. It's about being authentic and true to yourself. And the Aventurine is there to support you every step of the way, to nurture you and to help you heal those heart wounds. Because healing isn't always easy, okay? It can be a messy, painful process, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Because when you heal those wounds, you open yourself up to a whole new world of possibilities. You become more confident, more resilient, and more able to love yourself and others unconditionally. Okay, so, what does this all mean in practical terms? Well, maybe you're feeling stuck in a rut, like you're not living up to your full potential. Maybe you're in a relationship that's not working, or a job that's making you miserable. And maybe this King of Wands energy is coming into your life to shake things up and to help you see that you deserve more. Maybe this person is challenging you to step outside of your comfort zone and to pursue your dreams. Or maybe you're the one who needs to take the initiative to be the King of Wands in your own life. Maybe you need to make a change, to break free from old patterns and to create a new path for yourself. And maybe the Judgment card is telling you that it's time to make a decision, to choose a new direction. It's time to let go of the past and to embrace the future. And maybe the Hermit is telling you that you need to trust your intuition, to listen to your heart, and to follow your own inner guidance. You need to take some time alone to reflect on what you really want and to figure out how to get there. And the Aventurine is there to remind you that you're not alone, that you're supported, and that you're loved. It's there to help you heal those heart wounds and to open yourself up to a whole new world of possibilities. Okay, so, whatever your situation is, just remember that you're not alone, okay? You're supported by the universe, by the Aventurine energy, and by your own inner wisdom. You have the power to heal those heart wounds and to create a life that you truly love. You just have to be willing to take the first step. And that first step might be scary, but it's also incredibly exciting. Because when you step outside of your comfort zone, you open yourself up to new experiences, new opportunities, and new possibilities. And that's what life is all about, right? It's about exploring, growing, and evolving. It's about learning, loving, and laughing. It's about being true to yourself and living your life to the fullest. So embrace the King of Wands energy, embrace the Judgment moment, and embrace the Hermit within. And trust that the Aventurine will guide you every step of the way. So with these 3 cards together, it really seems like there's a major turning point happening, or about to happen. It involves both taking action and looking inward, and it's all geared toward major healing. Okay, so let's see what the next card has to say about all this, because I am just so curious to see where this goes. Okay, wow, so now we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so after all that energy and potential forward motion, the Hanged Man, this is interesting, this card. It's all about surrender, right? Or seeing things from a totally different perspective, It's like you're hanging upside down, so your whole world is flipped. So, like, how does this fit in with everything else? With the King of Wands, that fiery energy, the Judgment card, and that big wake-up call, and then the Hermit needing some alone time. Well, maybe. Maybe this is about needing to, like, willingly sacrifice something. Or maybe it's about needing to pause, to stop pushing so hard, especially if you're in that King of Wands energy, and just let things be for a minute. Because think about it, the King of Wands can be so focused, so driven, that they don't always see the bigger picture. They're so busy charging ahead that they might miss important details, or they might not realize that they're actually going in the wrong direction. So maybe the Hanged Man is a message to, like, slow down, take a breath, and look at things from a different angle. Like, literally flip your perspective. What do you see differently? And maybe, too, it connects to the Hermit, because after that big judgment moment, after that realization that things need to change, maybe the Hermit time isn't just about introspection. Maybe it's also about surrendering to the process, about accepting that you don't have all the answers right now, and that's okay, You don't have to force things, you can just hang out. Figuratively, The Hanged Man is such a powerful card because it's not about being stuck, okay? It's about choosing to pause, choosing to see things differently, choosing to surrender. And that takes a lot of strength, It's not always easy to let go of control, especially when you're used to being in charge, like the King of Wands. But sometimes, that's exactly what you need to do. To release control, to have that new perspective. So maybe this is about, like, sacrificing something for the greater good, Maybe you need to give up a relationship, a job, or even just a belief that's no longer serving you. Maybe you need to sacrifice your ego, your pride, or your need to be right all the time. It's like, what are you holding on to that's actually holding you back? And are you willing to let it go? And it's not always a negative thing, this sacrifice, It can actually be really liberating. Because when you let go of something that's not good for you, you create space for something better to come in. You open yourself up to new possibilities, new experiences, and new opportunities. It's like, by surrendering, you actually gain something. And remember, we're talking about healing heart wounds here with the Aventurine. So maybe this sacrifice is about letting go of old hurts, old resentments, old traumas. Maybe it's about forgiving someone who hurt you, or forgiving yourself for something you did in the past. Because holding on to those things only keeps you stuck in pain. It prevents you from moving forward and from experiencing true joy and happiness. And the Aventurine is there to help you with that, to nurture you, to soothe you, to remind you that you're worthy of love and healing. Okay, so, like, what does this mean in practical terms? Well, maybe you're in a situation where you feel like you're constantly fighting an uphill battle, Maybe you're trying to force something to happen that just isn't meant to be. And the Hanged Man is telling you to stop, to surrender, to let go. Maybe you're in a relationship that's not working, but you're afraid to leave because you don't want to be alone. And the Hanged Man is telling you that it's okay to let go, that you deserve to be with someone who truly loves and appreciates you. And that being alone is better than being in a relationship that's making you miserable. It could also, on the other hand, mean to surrender within the relationship. Stop controlling things so much and allow the natural rhythm of your connection to thrive. Or maybe you're in a job that's draining you, but you're afraid to quit because you don't know what else you would do. And the Hanged Man is telling you that it's okay to take a leap of faith, to trust that the universe will provide for you, and that you're capable of finding a job that's more fulfilling and more aligned with your passions. It's like you're so busy trying to make something work that you're not even considering other possibilities. Or maybe it's something smaller, Maybe you're holding on to a belief about yourself that's not true. Maybe you think you're not good enough, or not smart enough, or not worthy of love. And the Hanged Man is telling you to challenge those beliefs, to see yourself in a new light, to realize that you're actually amazing, capable, and deserving of all the good things in life. I think that's more likely, because the King of Wands energy doesn't usually hang on to those beliefs. But this could easily be someone else in your life. It's like You're so used to seeing yourself in a certain way that you don't even realize that it's just a story you've been telling yourself, and that you have the power to change that story at any time. You can choose to believe in yourself, to love yourself, and to accept yourself for who you truly are. See, this card is about perspective, right? It's about recognizing that the way you've been seeing things isn't the only way, that there are other possibilities, other options, other truths. And that by being willing to surrender your old perspective, you can open yourself up to a whole new world of understanding and growth. It's like you're not stuck, okay? You're just choosing to see things from a different angle, and that's a really powerful choice to make. And it all comes back to the Aventurine, right? Because this whole process is about healing those heart wounds, about being gentle with yourself as you go through this transformation. It's about nurturing yourself and finding your own inner strength. It's about recognizing that you're worthy of love, healing, and happiness, and that you have the power to create a life that's truly aligned with your soul's purpose. The Aventurine is like a gentle reminder that you're not alone in this, that you're supported by the universe, by your own inner wisdom, and by the love that surrounds you. It's there to help you heal those heart wounds, to release those old hurts, and to open yourself up to a whole new world of possibilities. And it's such a soft, nurturing kind of energy, which I think is so helpful with a card like the Hanged Man, which can sometimes feel a little unsettling. So, like, whatever you're going through right now, just remember that you have the power to choose your perspective. You have the power to surrender what's no longer serving you. And you have the power to heal those heart wounds and to create a life that you truly love. You just have to be willing to take that first step and trust that the universe will guide you every step of the way. Because healing isn't always easy, okay? It can be a messy, painful process, but it's also incredibly rewarding. Because when you heal those wounds, you open yourself up to a whole new world of possibilities. You become more confident, more resilient, and more able to love yourself and others unconditionally. Okay, so, like, with the Hanged Man here, it feels like things are definitely slowing down a little bit. But not in a bad way, okay? It's more like a necessary pause. A chance to catch your breath, to reassess, and to see things from a different angle. And with that Aventurine energy, it's all about doing it with gentleness and compassion, which is so important, especially when you're dealing with those heart wounds. But okay, I am so curious to see what the next card is because, like, is this pause going to last? Or is it just a brief moment before things start moving forward again? Like, I have no idea. Okay, let's see. Okay, wow, 6 of Wands. So after that Hanged Man energy, like, after all that surrender and shifting your perspective, we get the 6 of Wands. This card is, like, all about victory, recognition, and public acknowledgement. It's like, you've been working hard, you've overcome some challenges, and now you're finally getting the applause you deserve, you know. So, like, how does this fit in with everything else we've got going on? It's like, after all that intense internal work with the Judgment, the Hermit, and the Hanged Man, the universe is like, okay, here's your reward. Here's your moment to shine. So, the 6 of Wands, it's a really positive card. It's about feeling confident, successful, and appreciated. Like you've achieved something significant and people are noticing. They're cheering you on. They're celebrating your accomplishments. It's like you're riding high on a wave of positive energy. And this could be in any area of your life, you know? It could be in your career, your relationships, your personal growth. It's like whatever you've been working towards, you're finally seeing the results. And people are acknowledging that. But, like, here's the thing, okay? With the 6 of Wands, it's really important to stay grounded, okay? Because it's easy to get caught up in the hype, to let the praise go to your head. And, like, that's where the shadow side of this card can come in, right? It's like you start to believe your own publicity, you become arrogant, you start thinking you're better than everyone else. And that's not a good look, you know? Especially after all that work with the Hermit and the Hanged Man, which is all about humility and introspection. So, how does this connect to the King of Wands? Well, remember, the King of Wands is all about confidence, leadership, and taking charge. And the 6 of Wands can be a really nice validation of that energy. It's like You've been leading the way, you've been inspiring others, and now you're seeing the results of your efforts. People are recognizing you as a leader. They're following your example. But here's where it gets tricky, okay? Because the King of Wands can also be a bit of a show-off, right? They can be so focused on their own goals and ambitions that they forget to acknowledge the contributions of others. So, if you're in that King of Wands energy, it's really important to remember that you didn't get to where you are alone. You had help along the way. You had people who supported you, who believed in you, who contributed to your success. And it's important to acknowledge them, to thank them, and to share the spotlight with them. Because, the Six of Wands isn't just about individual achievement, okay? It's also about collective success. It's about working together towards a common goal and celebrating the victories as a team. And that's where the real magic happens, you know? When you can share your success with others, it becomes even more meaningful. It becomes a source of inspiration for everyone involved. And that's what true leadership is all about. It's not about being the best, it's about bringing out the best in others. Now, how does this all tie in with the Judgment, the Hermit, and the Hanged Man? Well, remember, the Judgment card is all about a major awakening, a transformation. It's about stepping into your true purpose. And the Hermit is about introspection, solitude, and finding your own inner wisdom. And the Hanged Man is about surrender, shifting your perspective, and letting go of control. So, maybe the Six of Wands is a sign that you're on the right track, you know? That you've made some major changes in your life, and they're paying off. People are noticing that you're more confident, more authentic, more aligned with your true self. They're seeing the results of your hard work and your dedication. But here's the thing, okay? It's really important to not let the external validation define you. Because, true validation comes from within, right? It comes from knowing that you're living your life in accordance with your values, that you're making a positive impact on the world, and that you're being true to yourself. And that's something that no one can take away from you. So, even though it feels good to get that external recognition, it's important to remember that it's just a reflection of the work you've already done on yourself. It's a confirmation that you're on the right path, but it's not the destination, okay? It's just a signpost along the way. And it is a very important distinction to really consider here, okay? It's not enough to just be told you're great, you have to feel it, right? And this is where the Hermit energy comes in, right? Because even when you're getting all that external praise and recognition, it's still important to take time for yourself, to connect with your own inner wisdom, and to stay grounded. To remember what's really important to you. To not let the ego inflate and take over. Because, the ego loves the Six of Wands energy, right? It loves the attention, the praise, the feeling of being superior to others. But the ego is also a trickster, okay? It can lead you astray. It can make you believe that you're better than you actually are. And it can blind you to your own flaws and weaknesses. It can make you lose sight of what's really important. So, it's really important to keep the ego in check, especially when you're experiencing the Six of Wands energy. To remember that you're not perfect, that you still have things to learn, and that you're always a work in progress. To stay humble, to stay grateful, and to stay focused on your own personal growth. And that's where the Hanged Man energy comes in, right? Because the Hanged Man is all about surrender, shifting your perspective, and letting go of control. It's about recognizing that you don't have all the answers, that you're not always right, and that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's about accepting that you're not in control of everything, and that sometimes you just have to let go and trust the process. So, maybe the Six of Wands is a test, you know? A test of your humility, your gratitude, and your ability to stay grounded in the face of success. A test of your willingness to surrender, to shift your perspective, and to let go of control. A test of your commitment to your own personal growth. And if you can pass this test, you'll come out even stronger, even more confident, and even more aligned with your true purpose. You'll be able to use your success to inspire others, to make a positive impact on the world, and to live a life that's truly meaningful. But if you fail this test, you might get caught up in the ego trap, you know. You might become arrogant, entitled, and out of touch with reality. You might lose sight of what's really important, and you might end up alienating the people who care about you. So, it's really important to be mindful of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions when you're experiencing the Six of Wands energy. To stay grounded, to stay humble, and to stay focused on your own personal growth. To remember that success is a journey, not a destination. And that the most important thing is to be true to yourself and to live a life that's aligned with your values. Okay, so, what does this all mean in practical terms? Well, maybe you're up for a promotion at work, and you're feeling really confident about your chances. The Six of Wands could be a sign that you're going to get it. But it's also a reminder to stay humble and to acknowledge the contributions of your colleagues. Or maybe you've just launched a new business, and it's taking off like crazy. The Six of Wands could be a sign that you're on the right track, but it's also a reminder to stay grounded and to not let the success go to your head. To remember why you started the business in the first place, and to stay true to your mission and your values. Or maybe you're in a relationship and things are going really well. The Six of Wands could be a sign that you've found your soulmate. But it's also a reminder to not take your partner for granted, to continue to show them love, appreciation, and respect, and to remember that relationships take work, even when they're going well. Or maybe you're just feeling really good about yourself, and you're getting a lot of positive attention from others. The Six of Wands could be a sign that you're radiating positive energy. But it's also a reminder to stay humble and to not let the ego inflate. To remember that everyone is worthy of love, respect, and appreciation. And to use your positive energy to uplift and inspire others. And remember that Aventurine, okay? Because, the Aventurine is all about nurturing, right? And healing those heart wounds. So, even when you're experiencing the Six of Wands energy, it's important to be gentle with yourself. To remember that you're not perfect and that you're always a work in progress. To forgive yourself for your mistakes and to learn from your experiences. To nurture your own inner growth and to celebrate your own unique gifts. So, whatever your situation is, just remember to stay grounded, to stay humble, and to stay true to yourself. To use your success to inspire others, to make a positive impact on the world, and to live a life that's truly meaningful. And to remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. Okay, so we've got one card left. Is this going to be a total celebration? Or is there another twist coming? I am so excited to see what it is. Okay, wow, the High Priestess. Okay, so after all of that, after all that external validation and potential ego stroking, we get the High Priestess. This card is SHHH, you know. It's all about intuition, mystery, and the subconscious mind. It is like a total 180 from the Six of Wands, right? So, how does this fit in with everything else? It's after all that action and recognition, the universe is saying, okay, now it's time to go within. It's time to listen to your intuition. It's time to trust your gut. Because the High Priestess, she's not about logic or reason, okay? She's about feeling, about knowing, about trusting your inner voice. She knows things without being told. She sees things that others can't see. She is just so connected to the divine, you know. And this card can also represent secrets, hidden information, or things that are not yet revealed. So maybe there's something that you don't know yet, something that's going to come to light soon. Or maybe you're keeping secrets from yourself, you know? Maybe you're not being honest with yourself about your feelings or your desires. The High Priestess is urging you to look deeper, to explore your subconscious mind, and to uncover the truth. So, how does this connect to the King of Wands? Well, remember, the King of Wands is all about action, passion, and leadership. He's all about taking charge and making things happen. But sometimes, he can be so focused on his goals that he forgets to listen to his intuition. He can be so busy doing that he doesn't take the time to just be. So maybe the High Priestess is a message to the King of Wands to slow down, to connect with his intuition, and to trust his inner guidance. To realize that not everything can be solved with action, that sometimes you just need to listen to your heart. It is hey, slow down a sec. There are other parts of yourself you need to listen to. And how does this connect to the Judgment card? Well, the Judgment card is all about a major awakening, a transformation, a calling to step into your true purpose. And maybe the High Priestess is part of that awakening. Maybe she's the one who's guiding you towards your true purpose. Maybe she's the one who's helping you to see things in a new light. Because, like, the Judgment card isn't just about external events, okay? It's also about internal shifts. It's about connecting with your own inner wisdom and trusting your intuition. It is about discovering who you really are. And, like, how does this connect to the Hermit? Well, the Hermit is all about introspection, solitude, and finding your own inner wisdom. And the High Priestess is like the queen of inner wisdom, you know. She's the one who holds all the secrets of the universe within her. So maybe the Hermit is actually communing with the High Priestess during his time alone. Maybe he's tapping into her energy and receiving guidance from her. Maybe he's learning to trust his own intuition and to connect with his own inner voice. I love the image of them hanging out together in the quiet, swapping secrets. And like, how does this connect to the Hanged Man? Well, the Hanged Man is all about surrender, shifting your perspective, and letting go of control. And maybe the High Priestess is helping you to surrender to the process, to trust that everything is happening for a reason, and to let go of your need to control everything. Maybe she's helping you to see things from a new perspective, to see beyond the surface, and to understand the deeper meaning of things. It is like, while you're hanging upside down, all the secrets of the universe get downloaded into your brain. And like, how does this connect to the Six of Wands? Well, the Six of Wands is all about victory, recognition, and public acknowledgement. But maybe the true victory is actually the internal one, you know. Maybe the true recognition is the one that comes from within. Maybe the true acknowledgement is the one that you give yourself. The High Priestess is saying that even though it's great to get external validation, it's even more important to trust your own intuition and to know that you're on the right track. It is like, yeah, it's great that everyone is cheering you on, but what do you think? Do you feel like you deserve it? Okay, so like, what does this all mean in practical terms? Well, maybe you're facing a difficult decision and you're not sure what to do. The High Priestess is telling you to trust your intuition, to listen to your gut, and to follow your inner guidance. She is like, stop thinking about it so much. What does your heart tell you? Maybe you're feeling lost or confused and you're not sure which way to turn. The High Priestess is telling you to go within, to connect with your own inner wisdom, and to trust that you'll find your way. She is like, the answers are already inside you. You just need to listen. Maybe you're in a relationship and you're not sure if it's the right one for you. The High Priestess is telling you to look deeper, to explore your feelings, and to be honest with yourself about what you really want. She is like, are you really happy, or are you just settling? Maybe you're working on a creative project and you're feeling blocked. The High Priestess is telling you to let go of your expectations, to trust your intuition, and to allow the inspiration to flow through you. She is like, stop trying to force it, just let it happen. Or maybe you're just feeling drawn to learn more about spirituality, metaphysics, or the occult. The High Priestess is a sign that you're ready to explore these realms and to connect with your own spiritual power. She is like, welcome, it is time to unlock your hidden abilities. And remember the Aventurine, okay? Because, like, the Aventurine is all about nurturing, right? And healing those heart wounds. So, like, maybe the High Priestess is helping you to heal those wounds by connecting you with your own inner wisdom and intuition. Maybe she's helping you to see that you're worthy of love, happiness, and fulfillment. Maybe she's helping you to trust yourself and to believe in your own power. It's like, by listening to your intuition, you're actually honoring yourself and showing yourself love. And when you love yourself, you're able to heal those heart wounds and to open yourself up to a whole new world of possibilities. So, like, whatever you're going through, just remember to trust your intuition, to connect with your own inner wisdom, and to believe in your own power. And to remember that the Aventurine is there to support you every step of the way, to nurture you, to heal you, and to help you to become the best version of yourself. Okay, I am so curious what the last card is going to be. Is it going to be something totally out there? Or is it going to tie everything together in a neat little bow? I have no idea, but I am so excited to find out. Okay, let's see. Okay, wow, the Three of Swords. Oh my gosh. Okay, so after all that High Priestess energy, all that intuition and like inner knowing, we get the Three of Swords. Like heartbreak. Okay, so how does this fit into everything? With the King of Wands, the Judgment, the Hermit, the Hanged Man, the Six of Wands, the High Priestess. It's like, whoa. Okay, so like the Three of Swords is. It's not a fun card, right? It represents sorrow, betrayal, and emotional pain. It's like a dagger to the heart, you know? But it's also a card of clarity. It's like, sometimes you need to experience that pain in order to truly heal. It's like, sometimes you need to have your heart broken open in order to let the light in. Okay, so let's think about this. How does this connect to the King of Wands? Well, maybe. Maybe the King of Wands, in his fiery passion and his drive, maybe he's not always the most sensitive, you know? Maybe he can be a little bit oblivious to other people's feelings. And maybe that can lead to hurt, even if it's unintentional. It's not that he means to cause pain, but his intensity can sometimes be overwhelming, you know? Or maybe the Three of Swords is about your own heart, and like, maybe you're realizing that the King of Wands energy, while exciting, isn't actually what you need. Maybe you thought you wanted that passion and drive, but now you're realizing that it's actually causing you more pain than joy, right? And you know what I mean, like, sometimes we're drawn to people because they're exciting, but then we realize that they're just not good for us. It's like, our hearts are telling us one thing, but our heads are telling us another. And that can be really painful, right? And okay, how does this connect to the Judgment card? Well, the Judgment card is all about a major awakening, a transformation. It's about stepping into your true purpose. And maybe the Three of Swords is part of that transformation, right? Maybe you need to experience this heartbreak in order to truly understand what you want and what you need. Maybe you need to let go of something that's no longer serving you in order to make space for something better. It's like sometimes our hearts need to break in order to really open up. And you know, that's not always a bad thing. It can be really painful in the moment, but it can also lead to incredible growth and healing. It's like we need to experience the darkness in order to appreciate the light, right? And okay, what about the Hermit? The Hermit is all about introspection, solitude, and finding your own inner wisdom. So maybe, like, after this heartbreak, after this Three of Swords moment, you need to retreat into yourself for a while, just like the Hermit. You need to take some time alone to process your feelings, to heal your wounds, and to connect with your own inner wisdom. Because, like, heartbreak is a really intense experience, you know? It can leave you feeling lost, confused, and completely devastated. And it's important to give yourself the time and space you need to heal. It's like, you can't just rush through it. You need to allow yourself to feel the pain, to cry it out, and to eventually move on. And the Hermit energy can be really helpful with that. It's like by taking that time alone, you're actually giving yourself the gift of self-care, right? You're nurturing yourself and allowing yourself to heal. And okay, what about the Hanged Man? The Hanged Man is all about surrender, shifting your perspective, and letting go of control. So maybe the Three of Swords is a message to surrender to the pain, to allow yourself to feel it fully, and to let go of any resistance you might have. It's like, sometimes we try to avoid pain, we try to numb it, or we try to push it away. But that doesn't actually work, you know? It just prolongs the healing process. The Hanged Man is telling you to just let go, to surrender to the pain, and to trust that it will eventually pass. And maybe, too, it's about shifting your perspective, right? Maybe you need to look at the situation from a different angle in order to understand it better. Maybe you need to see that this heartbreak is actually a blessing in disguise, that it's leading you towards something better. Okay, and the Six of Wands. So after that Hanged Man energy, victory, recognition, and public acknowledgement we talked about. So maybe the Three of Swords is a reminder that even when you're experiencing success, even when you're getting all that external validation, you're not immune to pain, you know. Maybe it's a reminder that life isn't always perfect, and that even the most successful people experience heartbreak and sorrow. Or maybe the Three of Swords is about the shadow side of the Six of Wands. Maybe it's about the fact that sometimes, in order to achieve success, you have to make sacrifices, and those sacrifices can be painful, you know. Maybe you have to let go of relationships, or maybe you have to compromise your values. And that can leave you feeling heartbroken and conflicted. It's like success isn't always what it seems, right? It can come at a cost. And okay, the High Priestess. All about intuition, mystery, and the subconscious mind. So maybe the High Priestess is trying to guide you through this heartbreak. Maybe she's whispering messages of comfort and healing into your ear. Maybe she's helping you to connect with your own inner wisdom and to trust your intuition. Because, heartbreak can be a really confusing experience, you know? It can be hard to know what to do or where to turn. But the High Priestess is reminding you that you have all the answers within you. You just need to listen to your inner voice, to trust your gut, and to follow your intuition. She is always trying to guide you to the best version of yourself, right? Okay, so, what does this all mean in practical terms? Well, maybe you're going through a breakup and you're feeling completely devastated. The Three of Swords is a sign that it's okay to feel that pain, to allow yourself to grieve, and to take the time you need to heal. It's also a reminder that this heartbreak is not the end of the world, that you will eventually move on and find love again. Or maybe you're in a job that's making you miserable, and you're realizing that you need to make a change. The Three of Swords could be a sign that it's time to quit, even if it's scary, even if it means facing some financial uncertainty. It's a sign that you need to prioritize your own well-being and to find a job that's more fulfilling and aligned with your values. Or maybe you're just feeling lost and confused about your life, and you're not sure what to do. The Three of Swords could be a sign that you need to take some time for yourself, to retreat into yourself, and to connect with your own inner wisdom. It's a sign that you need to listen to your intuition and to trust that you'll find your way. And remember the Aventurine, okay? Because, the Aventurine is all about nurturing, right? And healing those heart wounds. So, even though the Three of Swords is a painful card, it's also a card of healing. It's a reminder that even when your heart is broken, it can be mended. It's a reminder that you're strong, resilient, and capable of overcoming anything. And the Aventurine is there to support you every step of the way, to nurture you, to comfort you, and to help you to heal those heart wounds. Okay. So the Three of Swords definitely throws a wrench in things. It's a reminder that life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, and that even after periods of success and recognition, we can still experience pain and heartbreak. I'm like, wow, okay, this reading took a turn, didn't it? It's like things were going so well and then bam, heartbreak. But the reading is not done so. I am just so curious to see what the next card is because, does this heartbreak lead to something better? Or is it just the beginning of a downward spiral? I have no idea, but I am so excited to find out. Okay, let's see. Okay, wow, the Nine of Swords. Okay, so after all of that, after all the highs and lows, the triumphs and heartbreaks, we get the Nine of Swords. This card is, heavy, you know? It's all about anxiety, worry, and fear. It's about those sleepless nights where your mind is just racing and you can't seem to shut it off. It is like everything that could possibly go wrong is playing out in your head, over and over again. You're just trapped in this cycle of negative thoughts, and you can't seem to escape. So, how does this fit in with everything else we've got going on? Well, remember the Three of Swords? That heartbreak? Maybe the Nine of Swords is the aftermath of that. Maybe it's the anxiety and fear that come after a painful experience. It's like you're afraid of getting hurt again, so you're constantly on guard, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. Or maybe the Nine of Swords is about something else entirely. Maybe it's about a fear that's been lurking in the background for a long time, and it's finally coming to the surface. Maybe it's about a fear of failure, a fear of not being good enough, or a fear of being alone. It is like all those insecurities that we try to ignore are finally screaming for our attention. So, let's think about this in practical terms, okay? What does this anxiety actually look like in your life? Maybe you're constantly worrying about your job, afraid that you're going to get fired. Maybe you're constantly checking your bank account, afraid that you're going to run out of money. Maybe you're constantly analyzing your relationships, afraid that you're going to get abandoned. It's like, whatever it is, it's consuming you. It's taking over your life and preventing you from enjoying the present moment. You're so focused on the what-ifs that you're missing out on the what-is. And that's no way to live, right? So how does this connect to the King of Wands? Well, remember, the King of Wands is all about passion, drive, and confidence. He's all about taking action and making things happen. But maybe the Nine of Swords is a sign that you're pushing yourself too hard. Maybe you're so focused on achieving your goals that you're neglecting your own well-being. Maybe you're sacrificing your mental health in the pursuit of success. It's like you're so busy trying to be the best that you're forgetting to take care of yourself. Or maybe the Nine of Swords is a sign that you're afraid of failing. Maybe you're so afraid of not living up to the King of Wands ideal that you're constantly putting pressure on yourself. It's like you're afraid that if you're not perfect, you're not worthy of love and acceptance. And okay, what about the Judgment card? The Judgment card is all about a major awakening, a transformation, a calling to step into your true purpose. So maybe the Nine of Swords is part of that awakening. Maybe it's a sign that you're being called to face your fears and to heal your wounds. Maybe it's a sign that you need to let go of old patterns and beliefs that are no longer serving you. It's like you're being challenged to step into your power and to create a life that's aligned with your soul's purpose. And okay, the Hermit. The Hermit is all about introspection, solitude, and finding your own inner wisdom. So maybe, you need to retreat into yourself for a while, just like the Hermit. You need to take some time alone to process your fears, to connect with your own inner wisdom, and to find a sense of peace and calm. It's like you need to create a safe space for yourself where you can be honest with yourself about your feelings and where you can find the strength to overcome your challenges. Okay, and the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is all about surrender, shifting your perspective, and letting go of control. So maybe the Nine of Swords is a message to surrender to your fears, to allow yourself to feel them fully, and to let go of any resistance you might have. It's like sometimes we try to control our anxiety, we try to fight it, or we try to ignore it. But that doesn't actually work. It just makes it worse. The Hanged Man is telling you to just let go, to surrender to the fear, and to trust that it will eventually pass. It is about recognizing that the way you've been seeing things isn't the only way. It is also a very important distinction to really consider here, okay? And what about the Six of Wands? Success, right? But maybe the anxiety is I don't deserve this. Maybe the Nine of Swords here is saying that success is great, but is it sustainable? What am I really doing with this recognition? Or is it making me more anxious? The High Priestess. All about intuition and that quiet inner voice. And maybe that voice is being drowned out by the anxiety. Maybe the Nine of Swords is a call to turn down the volume on those fears and worries, and to really, truly listen to what your intuition is telling you. To trust that inner voice, even when it's hard. Maybe it's time to really trust what your gut is telling you. Okay, and the Three of Swords, yikes. So maybe the Nine of Swords is the fear of future heartbreak. The fear that you're going to get hurt again, and the anxiety that comes with that. It's like the Three of Swords left a scar, and now you're constantly worried about reopening that wound. Okay, so what can we actually do about this, right? Because this all sounds pretty bleak, so what are some practical steps we can take to cope with this anxiety? Well, first of all, it's important to acknowledge your feelings. Don't try to suppress them or ignore them. Allow yourself to feel the anxiety, to sit with it, and to understand where it's coming from. It's like you can't heal what you don't acknowledge. And then it's important to challenge your negative thoughts. Are they really true? Are they based on facts or are they based on fear? Often, our anxieties are based on irrational beliefs that we've been carrying around for years. It's important to question those beliefs and to replace them with more positive and realistic ones. Then, find healthy ways to manage your stress. Exercise, meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, listening to music. Find whatever works for you and make it a part of your daily routine. It's like taking care of your body is taking care of your mind. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Talk to a therapist, a counselor, a friend, or a family member. It's like you don't have to go through this alone. There are people who care about you and who want to support you. And remember that Aventurine, okay? because the Aventurine is all about nurturing and healing those heart wounds. So, even though the Nine of Swords is a difficult card, it's also a card of hope. It's a reminder that you're not alone, that you're supported, and that you have the strength to overcome your challenges. It's a reminder that healing is possible, even after heartbreak. Okay, so, what's the big takeaway here? What's the message that the universe is trying to send you? Well, I think it's this. You are stronger than you think you are. You have the power to overcome your fears, to heal your wounds, and to create a life that's filled with joy and purpose. You've already been through so much, and you've come out on the other side. You've faced your challenges head-on, and you've learned from your experiences. You're a warrior, a survivor, and a beautiful soul. And the universe loves you unconditionally. It believes in you, and it wants you to succeed. So don't give up on yourself. Don't let your fears hold you back. Trust your intuition, follow your heart, and believe in your own power. You are capable of amazing things. You are worthy of love, happiness, and fulfillment. And the world needs your unique gifts. So shine your light brightly and let your voice be heard. And remember that, Aventurine. Hold on to that nurturing energy. Be gentle with yourself, especially when you're struggling. Forgive yourself for your mistakes and learn from your experiences. Celebrate your successes and acknowledge your strengths. You are a masterpiece in progress, and you are exactly where you need to be. So embrace the journey, trust the process, and know that you are loved and supported every step of the way. You've got this. You truly, truly. Okay, Amazonite, so clarifying hidden desires, huh? I love that, especially with this dragon energy. It's like breathing fire on what's been hidden to make it, super obvious. Almost too obvious, you know? So let's see what these cards have to say. Okay, so the first card we have is the Seven of Wands. Immediately, I'm getting this feeling of, being challenged, someone is feeling super defensive. You know when you feel like everyone is coming at you all at once? Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. It's like you're standing your ground, but barely. It feels like you're saying, okay, bring it on. But inside you're thinking, oh my God, can I actually handle this? You know, and it's not necessarily a physical attack. It's more like a barrage of opinions, criticisms, or just expectations, maybe. Things that are making you feel like you have to constantly defend yourself. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's in your personal life, but wherever it is, it's exhausting, right? It's that feeling of you can't catch a break. And it's everyone else seems to have it so easy, but you're constantly having to fight for your position. Does that make sense? It's almost like you're being tested. Like the universe is throwing all these obstacles at you to see how strong you really are. And you are strong, don't get me wrong, but everyone has their breaking point, right? So with this Amazonite, clarifying things, maybe this challenge is actually an opportunity. Maybe the universe isn't trying to break you, but show you what you're truly capable of. Or maybe it's showing you where you need to set better boundaries, you know? Because, sometimes we attract these situations when we don't stand up for ourselves enough. We let people walk all over us, and then we wonder why we're always being challenged. So maybe this is a wake-up call. Hey, it's time to start saying no. Does that resonate at all? Okay, so that's the Seven of Wands. Feeling challenged, defensive, but also potentially an opportunity to grow and stand your ground. But then we have the Devil, oh boy. Okay, this is interesting. So the Devil card usually represents, unhealthy attachments, right? Things that are holding you back, but that you're also kind of addicted to, or, think you need. It could be a person, a habit, a belief, anything that's keeping you trapped in a negative cycle. And it's interesting that it comes after the Seven of Wands, because it's almost like the thing you're defending is actually the thing that's holding you back. You know, you're fighting so hard to maintain this situation, but maybe you shouldn't be fighting for it at all. Maybe you should be letting it go. Okay, so, with the theme of hidden desires, this Devil card could be pointing to a desire that you're ashamed of, or that you're trying to suppress. Something that you know isn't good for you, but that you can't seem to resist. Does that make sense? It could be a toxic relationship that you keep going back to. Or maybe it's a bad habit that you know you need to break, but you're too afraid to let go of. Or maybe it's even like a limiting belief that's keeping you from achieving your goals. It's like you're chained to this thing, but you have the key to unlock the chains. You just have to be willing to use it. And that's the hard part, right? Because sometimes we're so used to our chains that we don't even realize we have the power to break free. But with the Amazonite, like clarifying things, maybe you're starting to see this attachment for what it really is. Like, you're starting to realize that it's not serving you, that it's actually hurting you. And that's a huge step, right? Because awareness is the first step to change. So this Devil card is all about recognizing those unhealthy attachments and starting to question why you're holding on to them. What are you getting out of this? What fear is keeping you trapped? And are you willing to face that fear and break free? It's not going to be easy, I'm not going to lie, but it's definitely possible. And with the Amazonite, you have the clarity to see what needs to be done. You just have to have the courage to do it. Okay? Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands, feeling challenged, the Devil, unhealthy attachments, and then, oh, the Star. Okay, this is beautiful. This is like the light at the end of the tunnel. After all that struggle and darkness, there's hope. The Star card represents healing, inspiration, and renewal. It's like, after you've faced your demons and broken free from your chains, you're finally able to see your true potential. You're able to connect with your inner self and find your purpose. So, with the theme of hidden desires, the Star could be pointing to your true desire. Like the thing that you're really meant to do, the thing that will bring you the most joy and fulfillment. It's like, once you let go of those unhealthy attachments, you create space for your true desires to emerge. And it's interesting that it comes after the Devil, because it's almost like the Devil was blocking you from seeing your star. Like those unhealthy attachments were clouding your vision and preventing you from realizing your full potential. But now that you're free, you can finally see clearly. You can finally see what you're capable of. And it's amazing, right? It's like you're a star. You're meant to shine. You're meant to inspire others. And with the Amazonite, like clarifying things, you have the clarity to see your path forward. You know what you need to do to achieve your goals. You know what steps you need to take to make your dreams a reality. It's not going to be easy, there will still be challenges along the way. But you're not afraid of challenges, right? You've already faced so much, and you've come out stronger on the other side. So this Star card is all about embracing your true potential and stepping into your power. It's about trusting yourself and believing in yourself. It's about knowing that you're worthy of happiness and success. And you are, you really are. You just have to believe it. Okay, so let's recap. We have the Seven of Wands, feeling challenged, the Devil, unhealthy attachments, and the Star, hope, healing, and inspiration. It's like you're going through a tough time right now, but it's all leading you to something amazing. You just have to be willing to face your fears, break free from your chains, and embrace your true potential. And with the Amazonite, you have the clarity to do it. You have the power to do it. You just have to believe in yourself, okay? Does that all make sense? I feel like this is a really powerful message. Seriously, you're on the verge of something big, something amazing. You just have to trust the process and keep moving forward. And don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. There are people who care about you and want to support you. You're not alone in this, okay? So embrace your inner star, shine bright, and never give up on your dreams. You got this. Okay, so what I want to do now is pull some clarifiers because that Devil card is really sticking out to me. Okay, so the Knight of Swords. Oh man, this is like a whirlwind of energy coming right at us, you know? Like this knight, he's all about action, speed, and cutting through the crap. He doesn't have time for emotions or feelings. He's just focused on his goal and he's going to get there, no matter what. You know what I mean. He's charging forward with his sword raised, ready to take on anything that comes his way. So, in general, this card can represent, a need to be decisive, to take action, to stop procrastinating and just go for it. But it can also represent, being impulsive, reckless, and not thinking things through. It's like this knight is so focused on his goal that he doesn't always see the consequences of his actions. Does that make sense? He is super smart, though, and he's strategic, but sometimes I feel like he's too smart for his own good, you know? He overthinks things and then he acts too fast. And like, with the theme of hidden desires, this Knight of Swords could be saying that, like, your hidden desire is to just take action, to stop waiting for the perfect moment and just go after what you want. But it could also be saying that you need to be careful about how you go about it. Like, you don't want to be so impulsive that you end up making things worse. So it is like a balancing act, right? Okay, so how does this connect to the previous cards? Well, with the Seven of Wands feeling challenged, it's like this knight is saying, okay, enough is enough. I'm not going to stand here and defend myself anymore. I'm going to go on the offensive. You know, like he's tired of being challenged and he's ready to take control of the situation. Which is good, but also like, be careful not to be too aggressive, right? You don't want to, like, alienate people or create more conflict. And then with the devil, oh man, this is where it gets really interesting. Because the devil is all about unhealthy attachments, right? And the Knight of Swords is all about cutting through things. So it's like, this knight is coming in to help you break free from those unhealthy attachments. Like he's saying, okay, this is not good for you. You need to cut ties and move on. But here's the thing, like, breaking free from those attachments is not going to be easy, right? It's going to require a lot of courage and a lot of determination. And the Knight of Swords has that, but he also has a tendency to be, like, a little bit reckless. So you need to be careful not to, like, cut ties too abruptly or without thinking things through. Does that make sense? Like, maybe you need to have a conversation with someone before you cut them out of your life. Or maybe you need to put some safeguards in place before you break a bad habit. You know, you don't want to just, like, go cold turkey and then end up relapsing. That's the worst. But the overall message here is that, like, action is needed. You can't just sit around and wait for things to change. You have to take control of your life and make things happen. And the Knight of Swords is here to help you do that. But you need to be smart about it, okay? Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into that devil card because it's really important here. The devil often represents, like, feeling trapped, right? Like you're stuck in a situation that you can't get out of. But the truth is, like, you always have a choice. You always have the power to break free. But sometimes it's hard to see that power because you're so used to being trapped. And that's where the Knight of Swords comes in. He's like, hey, wake up, you're not trapped. You have the power to change your life. He's like that friend who is, like, super blunt, you know? Like, they don't sugarcoat anything, they just tell you the truth, even if it hurts. Sometimes you need that, right? Like, you need someone to shake you out of your complacency and make you see things clearly. But you have to listen to them. But the thing is, like, the devil card also represents, like, pleasure and indulgence. So sometimes those unhealthy attachments are things that we actually enjoy, right? Like maybe it's a bad habit that makes us feel good in the moment, even though we know it's not good for us in the long run. Or maybe it's a toxic relationship that's full of drama, but also full of excitement. So it is like, letting go of those things can be really hard, because you're giving up something that you enjoy. But the Knight of Swords is saying that, like, the long-term benefits of breaking free are worth the short-term pain of giving up those pleasures. Like, you'll be so much happier and healthier in the long run if you can just let go of those unhealthy attachments. It's like he's trying to get you to see the bigger picture, you know. He wants you to focus on your long-term goals, not just your immediate desires. And he's not afraid to, like, make sacrifices to achieve those goals. He's willing to give up those short-term pleasures in order to create a better future for himself. And he wants you to do the same. But again, be careful not to be too extreme. Like, you don't want to deprive yourself of all pleasure and enjoyment. That's not healthy either. You need to find a balance, right? You need to find ways to enjoy your life without falling back into those unhealthy patterns. It's like, moderation is key. Okay, so with the Seven of Wands, like, feeling challenged, this Knight of Swords energy can help you stand your ground and defend yourself against those challenges. But it can also make you more aggressive and confrontational. So you need to be mindful of how you're using this energy. You don't want to, like, create more conflict than is necessary. Sometimes the best way to win a battle is to just walk away, you know? Not everything is worth fighting for. But if you do decide to fight, the Knight of Swords can give you the courage and the determination to win. He's like, okay, bring it on, I'm not afraid of anyone. He's ready to take on any challenge that comes his way. But he also knows when to retreat. He's not stupid. So it's all about finding that balance between assertiveness and aggression, between standing your ground and knowing when to walk away. And that's not always easy, right? It takes practice. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Okay, so how does this all connect to the star card? Well, the star is all about hope, healing, and inspiration, right? And the Knight of Swords can help you achieve those things by breaking free from those unhealthy attachments and taking control of your life. It's like, once you've cleared away all the negativity and the toxicity, you create space for the positive things to come in. You create space for hope, healing, and inspiration. It's like the Knight of Swords is helping you clear the path so that you can reach your full potential. He's helping you remove all the obstacles that are standing in your way. And once those obstacles are gone, you're free to shine, you're free to be your true self, you're free to achieve your dreams. It's like he's giving you the courage to step into your power and embrace your true potential. He's saying, okay, you got this, I believe in you, now go out there and make it happen. And that's so empowering, right? To have someone believe in you, to have someone push you to be your best self. And with the Amazonite, like clarifying things, this Knight of Swords is helping you see your hidden desires more clearly. He's helping you understand what you really want in life and what's been holding you back from achieving it. It's like he's shining a light on your true desires so that you can finally go after them with confidence and determination. He's like, okay, this is what you want. Now go get it. So, like, overall, this Knight of Swords is a really powerful card in this reading. He's bringing a lot of energy and action to the situation. He's helping you break free from unhealthy attachments, stand your ground against challenges, and embrace your true potential. But you need to be careful not to be too reckless or impulsive. You need to find a balance between assertiveness and aggression, between taking action and thinking things through. Does that make sense? I feel like this is a really important message for you right now. Like you're on the verge of something big, something amazing. But you need to take action in order to make it happen. You can't just sit around and wait for things to change. You have to go out there and create the life that you want. And the Knight of Swords is here to help you do that. Okay, so what's next? I'm so curious to see what the next card is going to be. Like, is it going to be something that supports this Knight of Swords energy? Or is it going to be something that challenges it? Oh man, I can't wait to find out. Okay, let me pull the next card. Okay, so the next card is the Five of Wands. Ooh, this is interesting, right? Because, like, what does the Five of Wands even mean in this context? So the Five of Wands is all about, like, conflict, right? Competition, disagreement, sometimes even just, like, playful sparring, you know? It's that feeling of everyone pulling in different directions, like, nobody's on the same page. So, like, immediately, I'm thinking, how does this tie into everything else we've seen so far? Okay, so first, with the Seven of Wands, feeling challenged, right? I feel like the Five of Wands is almost like the reason why you're feeling so challenged. You know. Like, it's not just one person coming at you, it's like a bunch of people, all with different opinions and agendas, and they're all clashing. It's like a chaotic energy, right? And it can be super draining because it feels like you're constantly having to navigate all this, like, conflicting energy. Does that make sense? Like, you're not just defending yourself against one attack, you're defending yourself against, like, everyone. Which is exhausting, right? But okay, so maybe it's not necessarily external. Maybe this Five of Wands is representing internal conflict. You know, like, maybe you're the one who's feeling pulled in different directions. Like, maybe you have different parts of yourself that want different things, and they're all fighting for control. Which, honestly, is super common, right? Like, we all have different aspects of ourselves, and sometimes they're not always aligned. So maybe this Five of Wands is just saying that you're experiencing some internal conflict right now. Which, okay, with everything else that's going on, that makes total sense. Okay, but then we have the Devil, right? Unhealthy attachments. So how does that fit in with this whole conflict thing? Okay, so I'm thinking maybe the conflict is arising from trying to break free from those unhealthy attachments. You know. Like, it's not easy to let go of things that you're used to, even if they're not good for you. There's going to be resistance, right? From yourself, from others, from the universe, maybe. So maybe this Five of Wands is showing that struggle, that internal battle of trying to break free. Like, one part of you wants to hold on because it's comfortable and familiar, but another part of you knows that you need to let go in order to move forward. Does that resonate? It's like a two-for within yourself, right? And it can be really intense. Or, okay, maybe the conflict is actually within the attachment itself. You know. Like, maybe the relationship or the situation that you're attached to is full of drama and conflict. Like, maybe it's a relationship where you're constantly fighting, or a job where you're always butting heads with your coworkers. So, maybe the Five of Wands is just reflecting that chaotic energy that's already present in your life. And it's like the universe is saying, hey, do you really want to keep dealing with this? Is this really worth it? You know, like, sometimes we get so used to the drama that we don't even realize how much it's affecting us. So maybe this card is just a reminder to step back and assess whether these conflicts are actually serving you in any way. But then, okay, we have the Star. Like the hope, the healing, the inspiration. So how does that fit into this whole conflict thing? Okay, so I'm thinking maybe the Star is the outcome of resolving the conflict. You know, like, maybe you have to go through this period of chaos and disagreement in order to reach that place of healing and inspiration. Like, maybe you have to fight for what you want, you have to stand up for yourself, you have to overcome these challenges in order to finally see the light. Does that make sense? It's like, the Star is the reward for all your hard work, for all your struggles. It's like, okay, you've made it through the storm, now you can finally relax and enjoy the sunshine. Or, okay, maybe the Star is actually like the guiding light through the conflict. You know, like, maybe it's reminding you to stay focused on your goals, to stay connected to your inner self, to remember why you're fighting in the first place. It's like, even when things get chaotic and confusing, you can always look to the Star for guidance and inspiration. It's like, hey, don't lose sight of what's important. Remember what you're working towards, and trust that everything is going to be okay in the end. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Oh man, this is where it gets really interesting, right? Because the Knight of Swords is all about action, speed, and cutting through the crap, right? So I feel like the Knight of Swords is coming into, like, resolve this conflict. You know, like he's not afraid to jump into the middle of the chaos and start swinging his sword. He's like, okay, enough is enough. This has gone on long enough. It's time to take action. But like, remember, he can be a little reckless, right? So you have to be careful not to just, like, start attacking everyone in sight. You have to be strategic, you have to be smart about it. You know, like, sometimes the best way to resolve a conflict is to just walk away. But the Knight of Swords isn't really one for walking away, is he? He's more like, okay, let's fight. So maybe the Knight of Swords is representing the need to be assertive, to stand up for yourself, to not back down. But also to be mindful of your actions, to not be too aggressive or confrontational. It's like finding that balance between being assertive and being a jerk, you know? It's a fine line. But okay, so, like, thinking about this in terms of hidden desires, right? Like, that's the theme of this reading. I feel like this Five of Wands is pointing to the fact that your hidden desires are not going to come easily. You know, like, you're going to have to fight for them. You're going to have to overcome challenges. You're going to have to deal with conflict and competition. It's not just going to be handed to you on a silver platter. Which honestly is probably a good thing, right? Because anything that's worth having is worth fighting for. So maybe this Five of Wands is a reminder that, like, pursuing your hidden desires is not going to be a smooth, easy process. There are going to be obstacles. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be people who try to get in your way. But you can't let that discourage you. You have to stay focused on your goals, you have to keep fighting for what you want, and you have to trust that you'll eventually get there. Does that make sense? It's like the universe is testing you to see how badly you really want it. And if you're willing to fight for it, then you'll eventually be rewarded. And with the Amazonite, right? clarifying things. I feel like this Five of Wands is actually helping you to clarify your hidden desires. Because, through all this conflict and chaos, you're starting to see what's really important to you. You're starting to see what you're willing to fight for and what you're not. You're starting to see who's on your side and who's not. You're starting to see what your true values are. And that's all super valuable information, right? Because once you know what you really want and what you're willing to do to get it, then you're unstoppable. So maybe this Five of Wands is not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's just a necessary part of the process. Maybe it's a way for the universe to help you clarify your desires and strengthen your resolve. Maybe it's a way for you to grow and learn and become a stronger, more resilient person. And with the Amazonite, you have the clarity to see that. You have the clarity to see that even in the midst of chaos, there's always an opportunity for growth and learning. And that's a really powerful thing, right? Okay, so overall, I'm getting the sense that this Five of Wands is representing a period of conflict and challenge, but it's also an opportunity for growth and clarification. You're going to have to fight for what you want. You're going to have to overcome obstacles, but you're also going to learn a lot about yourself in the process. And with the Amazonite, you have the clarity to see the bigger picture, to stay focused on your goals, and to trust that everything is going to be okay in the end. Okay. Does that make sense? I feel like this is a really important piece of the puzzle. It's showing you that the path to your hidden desires is not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. You just have to keep fighting, keep learning, and keep trusting in yourself. Okay, I'm so excited to see what the next card is. Is it going to be something that supports this message of conflict and challenge? Or is it going to be something that offers a solution or a way out? Oh man, I can't wait to find out. Seriously, this is getting so good. Okay, let's pull the next card and see what happens. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh, this is huge, right? This card is all about destiny, fate, cycles, karma, all that big stuff. So, where do we even start with this? Okay, so immediately I'm thinking about how this connects to everything else we've already seen. And honestly, it kind of changes the whole perspective, you know? Okay, so first, let's think about the Seven of Wands, feeling challenged, right? So with the Wheel of Fortune, it's are those challenges just random? Or are they part of some bigger plan, some karmic cycle that you're going through? You know, is the universe testing you? Or is it just the natural ebb and flow of life? And honestly, it could be both, right? Sometimes things happen for a reason, and sometimes they just happen. But the Wheel of Fortune is kind of saying that, everything is connected, you know? Even the challenges that seem random are actually part of some larger pattern. Does that make sense? It's maybe you're facing these challenges because you need to learn something, or because you need to grow in some way. Or maybe it's just the universe balancing things out. Maybe you had some good luck in the past, and now you're having some bad luck to even things out. But the point is, it's all part of the cycle. It's all part of the wheel. And okay, maybe you're supposed to be learning something from it. Okay, so then we have the Devil, right? Unhealthy attachments. Oh man, this is where it gets really interesting. Because the Wheel of Fortune is all about cycles, and the Devil is all about being stuck in a cycle, right? So it's are you stuck in a karmic cycle of unhealthy attachments? Are you repeating the same patterns over and over again? And if so, how do you break free? You know, because the Wheel of Fortune is also about change, about things turning around. So maybe this is a sign that it's time to break free from those unhealthy attachments and start a new cycle. But it's not going to be easy, right? Those attachments are there for a reason. They're serving some purpose, even if it's not a healthy one. So breaking free is going to require a lot of courage, a lot of self-awareness, and a lot of willingness to change. But the Wheel of Fortune is saying that it's possible. It's definitely possible. You just have to be willing to do the work. Or maybe the attachment is part of your destiny. But it's unhealthy because your destiny requires you to overcome some kind of obstacle related to it. Okay, and then we have the Star, right? Hope, healing, inspiration. Okay, so with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, is that star a guaranteed outcome? Is it like your destiny to find hope and healing and inspiration? Or is it something that you have to actively work towards? You know. Like, is the universe just going to hand it to you on a silver platter? Or do you have to earn it? And like, honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think we all have the potential for hope and healing and inspiration within us. It's part of our nature, but we also have to actively cultivate it. We have to make choices that support our well-being. We have to surround ourselves with positive influences, and we have to be open to receiving those blessings. So the star is like your potential, your destiny, but you still have to meet it halfway, you know? You can't just sit around and wait for it to happen. You have to take action. It's like the wheel is turning, and you have to jump on at the right moment to grab the star. Okay, and that brings us to the Knight of Swords, right? Taking action, being decisive. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, do you take control of your destiny? Or do you just let the wheels spin and see where it lands? You know, like, do you try to steer the ship? Or do you just let the current carry you? And like, again, I think it's a little bit of both. Like, there are some things in life that we can control, and there are some things that we can't. So it's important to know the difference. It's important to know when to take action and when to surrender. But the Knight of Swords is all about taking action, right? He's all about being proactive. So maybe the message here is that you need to take control of your destiny as much as you can. You need to make choices that align with your goals and your values. You need to be decisive and assertive, but you also need to be flexible and adaptable because the wheel is always turning and things are always changing. So you have to be able to adjust your course as needed. You have to be able to roll with the punches. It's like you can steer the ship, but you can't control the weather, you know? Or maybe the wheel is going to put opportunities in front of you, and you have to use that Knight of Swords energy to pounce on them. Okay, so then we have the Five of Wands, like conflict and competition. So, like, with the Wheel of Fortune, is that conflict just random? Or is it part of the cycle? You know, like, is it something that you're destined to experience? Or is it something that you can avoid? And like, honestly, I think conflict is just a natural part of life. It's inevitable. We're all different people with different opinions and different agendas, so there's bound to be some conflict. But the Wheel of Fortune is kind of saying that, like, conflict can actually be a good thing. It can help us to grow, to learn, to clarify our values. It can help us to see things from different perspectives. But it can also be destructive if it's not managed properly. So the key is to find a way to navigate conflict in a healthy and productive way. To communicate effectively, to listen to others, and to be willing to compromise. But also to stand up for yourself and to fight for what you believe in. Because, like, the wheel is always turning, and sometimes you have to fight to get what you want. But you also have to be willing to let go of things that are no longer serving you. You have to be willing to walk away from conflicts that are not worth fighting. Okay, so, like, circling back to the Amazonite, right? Clarifying hidden desires. So, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, are your hidden desires part of your destiny? Are they something that you're meant to achieve? Or are they just, like, random wants and needs? And like, honestly, I think our desires are a reflection of our soul's purpose. I think they're clues that point us in the direction of our true path. But we also have to be careful about our desires, because they can sometimes lead us astray. They can sometimes be based on ego or fear or insecurity. So it's important to examine our desires and to make sure that they're aligned with our values and our higher purpose. And with the Amazonite, we have the ability to clarify those desires, to see them for what they really are, to distinguish between the desires that are serving us and the desires that are holding us back. And the Wheel of Fortune is kind of saying that, like, our true desires are the ones that are aligned with our destiny. They're the ones that are meant to be. So, if we can clarify those desires and align ourselves with them, then we can manifest them into reality. We can create the life that we're meant to live. It's like the wheel is turning, and it's leading us towards our true desires. We just have to be willing to follow it. So, like, overall, I'm getting the sense that this Wheel of Fortune card is a sign of major change and transformation. It's a sign that things are about to turn around in a big way. But it's also a reminder that we have a role to play in our own destiny. We can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. We have to take action, we have to make choices, and we have to be willing to adapt to whatever comes our way. And with the Amazonite, we have the clarity to see our path forward, to understand our desires, to align ourselves with our purpose, and to create the life that we're meant to live. So, what does that all mean? I don't know. We have one card left to pull. And that card is gonna be the answer, right? It's gonna tell us what to do with all of this. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, let's pull the last card. I can't even imagine what it's going to be. Okay, so the Ten of Swords. Oh man, this is intense, right? This card is all about endings. Final endings, it's over. Done. Kaput, it's that feeling of hitting rock bottom. You can't go any lower. You've been stabbed in the back, metaphorically speaking, of course. You're lying on the ground, defeated. It's the worst case scenario. But here's the thing about the Ten of Swords. It's also a card of hope in a weird way. Because when you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up, right? You can't go any lower. So it's the end of something, but it's also the beginning of something new. It's the old has to die in order for the new to be born. So it's a painful card for sure, but it's also a card of transformation. It's a card of letting go. It's a card of new beginnings. So how does this connect to everything else we've seen so far? That's the big question, right? Okay, so let's start with the Seven of Wands feeling challenged. So with the Ten of Swords, is this the end of those challenges? Have you finally been defeated? Have you finally given up? Or is this the end of a cycle of challenges? Have you finally learned the lesson that you were supposed to learn? And now you're ready to move on to something new? Is it a defeat or is it a breakthrough? And honestly, it could be either one, right? It depends on your perspective. It depends on how you choose to see it. If you see it as a defeat, then it will be a defeat. But if you see it as a breakthrough, then it will be a breakthrough. But I think either way, that cycle that the Seven of Wands brought is coming to a close, either by your choice or without it, if that makes sense. Okay, so then we have the Devil, unhealthy attachments. Oh man, this is a major connection, right? Because the Ten of Swords could be the final ending of those unhealthy attachments. You've finally cut ties, you've finally broken free, you've finally let go of whatever was holding you back. It's the chains have been broken. You're free. But here's the thing, letting go is painful, right? It hurts. It's even if those attachments were unhealthy, they were still familiar. They were still comfortable. They were still a part of your life. So letting go is going to be painful. It's going to feel like you're being stabbed in the back. But the Ten of Swords is saying that it's necessary. It's necessary to let go in order to move forward. It's necessary to break free in order to find happiness. It's you can't hold on to those unhealthy attachments any longer. They're killing you. They're preventing you from reaching your full potential. So you have to let them go, even if it hurts. And this might be that moment, the moment where you make that choice. Or okay, maybe the attachment is ending, but not by choice, and the Ten of Swords is that forced ending. Okay, so then we have the Star, hope, healing, and inspiration. So with the Ten of Swords, is the star still possible? Even after this ending, even after this defeat, is there still hope for the future? And absolutely there is. The star is always there, shining brightly in the darkness. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. There is always the possibility of healing. There is always the potential for inspiration. So even though you're lying on the ground, feeling defeated, you can still look up at the star and know that things will get better. You can still hold on to hope. You can still believe in yourself. You can still know that you're worthy of happiness. The star is like a beacon in the darkness. It's a reminder that you're not alone. It's a reminder that you're loved. It's a reminder that you're capable of anything. Okay, so then we have the Knight of Swords taking action. So with the Ten of Swords, is this the end of taking action? Have you finally given up on your goals? Have you finally decided that it's not worth fighting for? Or is this a time to reassess, to reevaluate, to come up with a new plan of action? Like, maybe the Knight of Swords energy wasn't working for you. Maybe you were being too aggressive. Maybe you were being too impulsive. Maybe you were not thinking things through. So maybe this is a time to take a step back and to approach things from a different angle, to be more strategic, to be more thoughtful, to be more patient. It's like the Knight of Swords energy is not always the answer. Sometimes you need to be more gentle. Sometimes you need to be more compassionate. Sometimes you need to be more understanding. So maybe this is a time to cultivate those qualities, to be more kind to yourself, to be more kind to others, to be more understanding of the situation. You know, to reflect on the actions you've been taking and decide if they were as effective as they could be. Or maybe the Ten of Swords is the result of those actions. Okay, so then we have the Five of Wands, conflict and competition. So like with the Ten of Swords, is this the end of the conflict? Like, has the battle finally been lost? Have you finally been defeated by your competitors? Or is this a time to learn from your mistakes? To analyze what went wrong? To come up with a new strategy for dealing with conflict in the future? You know, like maybe you were being too confrontational. Maybe you were being too defensive. Maybe you were not communicating effectively. So maybe this is a time to learn how to communicate better, to learn how to listen better, to learn how to compromise better, to learn how to find common ground with others. It's like conflict is inevitable, but it doesn't have to be destructive. It can actually be an opportunity for growth and learning if you approach it in the right way. Or maybe the Ten of Swords is a symbol of the conflict finally reaching its peak, and now it will slowly die down. Okay, so then we have the Wheel of Fortune, fate, and destiny. So like with the Ten of Swords, is this your fate? Is this your destiny? Were you always meant to end up here? Or is this just a temporary setback? Is this just a part of the cycle? You know. Like the wheel is always turning. Things are always changing. So even if you're at the bottom right now, you won't be there forever. The wheel will eventually turn again and you'll start to rise back up. So it's important to remember that this is not the end of the story. This is just a chapter, and there are many more chapters to come. You know, so don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on the future, because the wheel is always turning and things will get better. I mean, they have to, right? Okay, so like, what about the theme of hidden desires, right? Like, that's what this whole reading is about. So like with the Ten of Swords, are your hidden desires dead? Are they gone forever? Have you finally realized that they were just a fantasy? Or is this a time to reevaluate your desires? To figure out what you really want? To let go of the desires that are no longer serving you? You know, like, sometimes we hold on to desires that are not really ours. They're desires that we've inherited from our parents or from society or from the media, but they're not really our true desires. So maybe this is a time to let go of those false desires and to connect with your true desires, to figure out what you really want in your heart of hearts, and to start pursuing those desires with passion and purpose. Because, like, that's what life is all about, right? It's about pursuing your dreams. It's about living your truth. It's about being yourself. So don't let this ending discourage you from pursuing your hidden desires. Let it inspire you to pursue them with even more passion and purpose. Because you deserve to live a life that is aligned with your soul. And that starts with knowing what you truly desire. Or, okay, maybe what you truly desire requires you to let something that is holding you back die, even if it feels like a part of you. And like finally, the Amazonite, right? Clarifying things. So like with the Ten of Swords, what is the Amazonite clarifying? Is it clarifying the ending? Is it clarifying the lessons that you've learned? Is it clarifying your hidden desires? You know, like, what is it that you need to see clearly in this moment? And like, honestly, I think it's all of those things. I think the Amazonite is helping you to see the ending for what it is, to see the lessons that you've learned, to see your hidden desires, and to see how all of those things are connected. It's like the Amazonite is giving you clarity. It's giving you perspective. It's giving you understanding. And with that clarity, perspective, and understanding, you can move forward with confidence and purpose. You can create a life that is aligned with your soul. You can live your truth. You can be yourself. The Amazonite, like, allows you to see it all for what it is. You know, So, overall, I'm getting the sense that this Ten of Swords is a powerful card of ending and transformation. It's a sign that something is coming to an end in your life, but it's also a sign that something new is about to begin. So don't be afraid of the ending, embrace it, learn from it, and then move forward with hope and purpose, because the future is bright, and you are capable of anything. And seriously, that Amazonite dragon crystal is there to breathe fire on whatever you need to see, even if it's painful. So, what does all that mean? I have no idea. I mean, this is the final card, so, this is where we stop, right? So, you have to take all of this and figure out what it means for you. Seriously, I'm so curious to know what you think. Okay, wow, Ten of Swords as the final card. I mean, that's a lot, right? It can feel, super overwhelming at first. Oh my god, is everything just, completely falling apart? And yeah, it might feel that way for a little bit. There's no sugarcoating it, this card represents an ending, a painful one, probably. But the most important thing to remember is that endings are always followed by beginnings. Always, always, always. It's just the way the universe works, you know? You can't have a new chapter without closing the old one. And honestly, sometimes those old chapters need to be, ripped out of the book, you know? They're just not serving you anymore. And that's what this Ten of Swords is all about. It's about, finally, definitively, ending something that needs to end so that you can move on to something better, something more aligned with your true self. So, yeah, it might hurt right now, but trust me, this is actually a good thing. A really good thing. And that Amazonite dragon crystal is there to help you see that, to help you clarify what needs to end and what new beginnings are waiting for you on the other side. So let's think about those other cards, right? Because they all play into this final ending, this big transformation. So first, we had the Seven of Wands feeling challenged, right? So with this Ten of Swords, maybe those challenges have finally become too much. Maybe you've been fighting and fighting and fighting and you're just exhausted. And that's okay. It's okay to admit that you can't fight anymore. It's okay to surrender. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human. And maybe this ending is actually a release from all those challenges. Maybe it's a sign that you don't have to keep fighting anymore. You can finally rest. You can finally heal. You can finally move on. Or maybe you've simply learned what you were supposed to learn, right? You've gained the strength, the resilience, the wisdom that you needed from those challenges, and now you're ready for something new. You've leveled up, you know. And the old challenges just don't apply to you anymore. So either way, the Seven of Wands energy is coming to a close. You're not going to be constantly challenged like that forever. This is the end of that cycle. And then we had the Devil, unhealthy attachments. Oh man, this is a huge one with the Ten of Swords. Because, this could very well be the final severing of those attachments. You're finally free. You're finally breaking those chains that have been holding you back for so long. And yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful to let go of those familiar patterns, those comfortable, even if toxic, relationships. But trust me, the freedom you're going to feel on the other side is so worth it. It's you've been carrying this weight around for so long, and now you can finally put it down. You can finally breathe. You can finally be yourself. And the Ten of Swords is saying that this is the moment. This is the moment where you finally choose yourself. You finally choose your own happiness. You finally choose your own freedom. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be the best decision you ever make. Seriously. Or maybe, like we said, this end is forced upon you because you weren't ready to choose it for yourself, but the universe knows what you need, even if you don't. And then we had the star, hope, healing, and inspiration. So even in the midst of this ending, even in the midst of this pain, the star is still shining brightly. It's still there, offering you hope, offering you healing, offering you inspiration. It's even though you're lying on the ground, feeling defeated, you can still look up and see that light. You can still believe that things will get better. You can still know that you're worthy of happiness. The star is a reminder that you're not alone. You're loved, you're supported, and you're capable of anything. So don't let this ending extinguish your inner star. Let it fuel it. Let it inspire you to create a new beginning that is even brighter and more beautiful than you ever imagined. Let it be a guiding light. Then, of course, there's the Knight of Swords. All that action-oriented energy. Maybe all that decisive action brought you here. Is this Ten of Swords the result of something that you did? Or maybe this ending is forcing you to reevaluate your approach, to be more thoughtful, more strategic, less impulsive. Maybe it's teaching you the importance of balance, of knowing when to fight and when to surrender, of knowing when to take action and when to wait. The Knight of Swords energy is powerful, but it's not always the answer. Sometimes you need to be more patient, more compassionate, more understanding. And maybe this ending is helping you to cultivate those qualities, to become a more well-rounded, more balanced individual. And we can't forget the Five of Wands and all that conflict. Maybe this is the end of all the drama. Like, the fighting is finally over, the competition has ceased, and you can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Or maybe it's a lesson, right? Like, maybe you realize that all that conflict was unnecessary, that it was just draining your energy and preventing you from achieving your goals. And now you're ready to find a more peaceful, more harmonious way of living. To surround yourself with people who support you, who uplift you, who believe in you. To create a life that is free from drama and conflict. Maybe it's showing you that true strength isn't in fighting, but in finding peace. And finally, the Wheel of Fortune. So, is this ending your destiny? Is it fate? Or is it just a part of the cycle? Honestly, it's probably a little bit of both. Like, some things are meant to be, and some things are just a matter of chance. But the Wheel of Fortune is a reminder that everything is always changing. Nothing stays the same forever. So even if you're at the bottom of the wheel right now, you won't be there forever. The wheel will eventually turn and you'll start to rise back up. So trust in the process. Trust in the universe. Trust that everything is happening for a reason. And know that this ending is just a stepping stone to something better, something more aligned with your soul's purpose. So what about those hidden desires, right? That's what this reading is all about. And like with the Ten of Swords, it might feel like those desires are dead. Like you've given up on your dreams, you've lost hope. But like I said before, endings are always followed by beginnings. So maybe this ending is actually clearing the way for your true desires to emerge. Maybe you were holding on to desires that weren't really yours, desires that were based on fear or insecurity or societal expectations. And now you're finally free to let go of those false desires and to connect with what you really want. To connect with your soul's purpose. To connect with your true passion. So use this time of ending to reevaluate your desires, to ask yourself what you really want, and to let go of anything that is no longer serving you. Because when you do that, you create space for something new, something amazing, something truly aligned with your soul. So where do you go from here? Honestly, there are so many possibilities. It all depends on how you choose to see this ending. If you see it as a defeat, then you might stay down for a while. But if you see it as a breakthrough, as a new beginning, then you can rise up stronger and more empowered than ever before. So choose to see it as a breakthrough. Choose to see it as an opportunity. Choose to see it as a gift. Because it is, it really is. Here are a few possible paths forward. Rest and heal. Take some time to just rest and heal. Allow yourself to grieve the ending, to process your emotions, to take care of yourself. Do things that make you feel good. Surround yourself with people who love you. Be kind to yourself. You deserve it. Reevaluate and re-strategize. Take some time to reevaluate your goals, your desires, your strategies. What worked? What didn't work? What can you do differently next time? Learn from your mistakes. Grow from your experiences. Become even stronger and more resilient. Embrace the unknown. Step out of your comfort zone and embrace the unknown. Try new things. Meet new people. Explore new possibilities. You never know what amazing opportunities are waiting for you on the other side of this ending. Connect with your soul. Take some time to connect with your soul. Meditate. Pray. Spend time in nature. Listen to your intuition. What is your soul calling you to do? What is your true purpose? Let this ending guide you to a deeper connection with yourself. Ultimately, the choice is yours. You get to decide what this ending means for you. You get to decide what you want to create next. You are the author of your own story, so write a good one. And remember that Amazonite dragon crystal is there to help you every step of the way. It's there to clarify your path, to guide you towards your true desires, to empower you to create a life that is aligned with your soul. So trust in its energy, trust in yourself, and trust that everything is going to be okay, because it is. You got this, I know you do. Hey there, beautiful soul, welcome to your reading and thank you so much for being here. If you chose the Opal heart, that's all about grounding, bringing you back to earth, you know? And that's perfect because this reading is all about strengthening your soul connections, so it's about, making those bonds deeper and more real. So with that grounding energy in mind, let's dive in, shall we? Let's see what messages your soul wants you to hear. Okay, so the first card we have is the King of Swords. Ooh, that's some powerful energy right there. The King of Swords, to me, he's all about, truth, clarity, and making decisions with your head, not your heart. You know what I mean? He's very logical, very intellectual. So right off the bat, I'm feeling for some of you, there's a situation where you need to, step back and look at things objectively. Maybe you've been caught up in your emotions, and the universe is saying, hey, time to put on your thinking cap and get real with yourself. It could be in any area of your life, really. It could be a relationship where you need to, honestly assess if it's serving you. Is it really aligned with your values? Or, is it more based on, history or comfort? Because sometimes, we stay in situations because they're familiar, even if they're not actually good for us. Or it could be a career situation where you need to make a tough decision about, whether to stay in a job that's safe but unfulfilling or to, take a leap of faith and pursue something that you're actually passionate about. The King of Swords doesn't shy away from difficult conversations either, So maybe there's something you've been avoiding saying to someone, something that needs to be said for the sake of clarity and honesty. It might be uncomfortable, but the truth will set you free, seriously. I'm also getting a sense that some of you might be dealing with, legal matters or contracts. So this is a reminder to, read the fine print and make sure you understand everything before you sign on the dotted line. Don't be afraid to ask questions and get advice from experts, That's what they're there for. And, the key thing with the King of Swords is that he's not about being ruthless or unkind. It's about being fair and just. It's about, cutting through the BS and getting to the heart of the matter with integrity. It's about, being honest with yourself and with others, even when it's hard. So, yeah, that's the initial energy. It's a call for clarity, truth, and decisive action. But, what are you supposed to do with that, right? What's the next step? Well, that's where the Fool comes in. Okay, so now we have the Fool. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful card. After the King of Swords is really direct, cutting energy, the Fool is okay, let's just jump. It's all about new beginnings, spontaneity, and taking a leap of faith. So, what I'm seeing here is that after you've made that clear, honest assessment of your situation, as the King of Swords wants you to do, the Fool is saying, don't be afraid to take a chance. Don't be afraid to step into the unknown. This card often comes up when you're at the beginning of a new journey. It could be a new relationship, a new job, a new creative project, anything really. And it's a reminder that, you don't have to have all the answers right now. It's okay to not know exactly where you're going. The point is just to start, to take that first step. But this could also be about having faith that what you want is already on its way to you, and it is safe to allow joy and fun to be a part of your life. Let loose a little bit. And sometimes the Fool can be a little bit impulsive, right? A little bit naive. But that's also part of its charm. It's about trusting your intuition and following your heart, even if it doesn't make logical sense. So maybe the King of Swords was telling you to leave that soul-sucking job, and the Fool is saying, okay, great, now go book that one-way ticket to Bali. Or, maybe the King of Swords was telling you to end that relationship that wasn't serving you, and the Fool is saying, okay, now go download that dating app and put yourself out there. Okay, maybe not Bali and not a dating app, but like, you get the idea, right? It's about embracing new possibilities and trusting that the universe has your back. But here's the thing, the Fool isn't just about being reckless and carefree. It's also about having the courage to be vulnerable and authentic, to be yourself, even if it's a little bit weird or unconventional. It's about shedding the masks that you've been wearing and showing the world who you really are. And that can be scary, right? But it's also incredibly liberating. So yeah, the Fool is all about new beginnings, taking a leap of faith and embracing the unknown. But how do you do that, right? How do you find the courage to step into the unknown, especially after being so logical and clear with the King of Swords? Well, that's where the Strength card comes in. Okay, so the final card is Strength. Oh, this is the perfect card to round this out. Seriously. Because after the King of Swords tells you to be honest and the Fool tells you to take a leap, Strength is all about finding the inner power and courage to actually do it. It's not about physical strength, although that can be part of it. It's about emotional strength, mental strength, spiritual strength. It's about tapping into that well of resilience that you have inside of you and knowing that you can handle anything that comes your way. This card often depicts a woman gently caressing a lion. And the lion represents your fears, your doubts, your insecurities. And the woman represents your ability to tame those fears, not by force, but by compassion and understanding. So what I'm seeing here is that, you have the power to overcome any obstacles that are standing in your way. You have the power to heal old wounds and create a better future for yourself. You just have to believe in yourself, And that's what Strength is all about. It's about self-belief, self-compassion, and self-mastery. It's about knowing that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. So, maybe you're afraid to take that new job because you don't think you're qualified. Strength is saying, yes, you are. You have the skills, the talent, and the experience to succeed. Just trust yourself. Or maybe you're afraid to put yourself out there in the dating world because you've been hurt in the past. Strength is saying, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to open your heart again. You deserve to be loved. The Strength card is a gentle reminder that real power comes from within. It's not about dominating others or forcing your will on the world. It's about leading with your heart and using your strength to uplift and inspire others. And you have that power within you right now. The beautiful thing about Strength is that it works in harmony with the King of Swords and the Fool. The King of Swords provides the clarity and direction. The Fool provides the courage and spontaneity. And Strength provides the inner power to make it all happen. It's like the perfect trifecta, And remember, too, that your pile crystal was the opal heart. It's all about grounding, and that fits perfectly with Strength, because you need to be grounded to really access your inner power. This is about making real, tangible changes in your life, not just floating off into the clouds. Okay, so now we have the Seven of Wands. This is interesting. So after all that clarity from the King of Swords and that leap of faith from the Fool, and then harnessing your inner strength, now it's you're facing a challenge. You're standing on a hill and there are all these wands coming at you, right? You're defending your position. So the Seven of Wands, it's often about feeling attacked or challenged or you have to prove yourself. It's you've put yourself out there, you've taken a stand, and now you're getting some pushback. Which, is kind of inevitable, right? Whenever you make a change, whenever you step into your power, there's always going to be someone who doesn't like it. There's always going to be someone who tries to knock you down. It's you've decided to be brave and step out of your comfort zone, and suddenly everyone has an opinion. And not always a supportive one, right? Maybe it's people doubting you, criticizing you, or even actively trying to sabotage you. Maybe it feels like everyone's against you, like you're fighting an uphill battle. It's that feeling of needing to defend your choices, your beliefs, your position. You might be facing competition, or maybe people are questioning your abilities. Or maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed by the sheer amount of effort it takes to maintain your new path. It's you thought the hard part was over, but now you realize that staying true to yourself requires constant vigilance. You have to be ready to defend what you've built. But the thing is, the Seven of Wands isn't necessarily a bad card. It's not saying that you're wrong or that you should give up. It's just saying that you need to be prepared to stand your ground. It's a test of your conviction. Are you really committed to this new path? Are you willing to fight for what you believe in? Because if you are, then you'll come out of this stronger than ever. Okay, so how does this connect to the King of Swords, the Fool, and strength? Well, remember the King of Swords was all about clarity and truth. So before you even start defending yourself, you need to be really clear about what you believe in and why. What are your values? What are your goals? What are you fighting for? Because if you don't have that clarity, then it's going to be really easy to get knocked off your feet. You need to know your truth so well that no one can shake it. And then, the Fool was about taking a leap of faith, right? Stepping into the unknown. So maybe this Seven of Wands energy is coming up because you've actually taken that leap. You've put yourself out there, you've started something new, and now you're facing the consequences. People are challenging you because you're doing something different, something that they're not comfortable with. But that's okay. That just means you're on the right track. It means you're pushing boundaries and challenging the status quo. And then, of course, there's strength. This is the most important card in this context, I think, because it's all about inner power and courage. The Seven of Wands is asking you to tap into that strength. It's reminding you that you have the resilience and the determination to overcome any obstacle. You've already proven that you can be honest with yourself, King of Swords, that you can take risks, the Fool, and that you can handle whatever comes your way, strength. So, don't let these challenges discourage you. See them as opportunities to grow stronger and more confident. This is your chance to really embody the energy of the Strength card and show the world what you're made of. Remember that woman with the lion, gently holding it but still powerful. So yeah, you might be feeling challenged right now, but you have everything you need to get through it. So, what can you actually do with this information? Like, how can you navigate this Seven of Wands energy in a practical way? Well, first of all, don't take things personally. Remember that a lot of the criticism you're receiving is probably coming from a place of fear or insecurity. People often project their own limitations onto others. So, if someone is telling you that you can't do something, it's probably because they don't think they can do it themselves. Don't let their doubts become your doubts. Just let it roll off you. Secondly, choose your battles wisely. You don't have to respond to every single challenge or criticism. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is just ignore it and keep moving forward. Focus your energy on the things that really matter, the things that are aligned with your values and your goals. Don't get bogged down in petty arguments or distractions. Also, stand your ground with confidence. When you do choose to respond to a challenge, do it with conviction and clarity. Don't back down from your beliefs, but also don't be afraid to listen to other people's perspectives. You might actually learn something. Be open to constructive criticism, but don't let anyone bully you or manipulate you. Know your worth and don't let anyone diminish it. Protect your energy. This is really important. When you're feeling attacked, it's easy to get drained and depleted. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Get enough sleep, eat healthy food, exercise, and spend time with people who support and uplift you. And don't be afraid to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to friends, family, or mentors for guidance and support. You don't have to go through this alone. Remember why you started. When you're feeling discouraged, take a moment to reconnect with your original vision. Why did you take that leap of faith in the first place? What were you hoping to achieve? Remind yourself of your passion and your purpose, and use that as fuel to keep going. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to dig deep and show the world what you're capable of. You've got this. You really, really do. Okay, so that's the Seven of Wands. But what's the next step in this journey? What's the universe want you to know next? Let's pull the next card and see, okay. Okay, so that's the Seven of Wands, standing your ground. But what's the universe want you to know next? Let's pull the next card and see, okay? And, oh, wow, it's the Hermit. Okay, so this is a major shift from all that, external action and defending yourself, you know. The Hermit is all about going inward, retreating from the world and seeking wisdom from within. So like after all that pushing and striving, the universe is saying, okay, time out. Time to step back, take a breath, and like really listen to yourself. You know, the hermit is often depicted as like this solitary figure, right? Standing on a mountaintop with a lantern, like guiding his own way. And that lantern, it symbolizes the light of inner wisdom, the truth that you already hold within you. So like, this card is a really strong invitation to like disconnect from the noise and the chaos of the outside world and to like really tune into your own inner voice. To get quiet and listen to what your soul is trying to tell you. Maybe you've been so busy fighting those battles, as like the Seven of Wands showed, that you haven't had time to like check in with yourself. You know, like, what do you really want? What truly makes you happy? Are you even on the right path? The hermit is a reminder that like all the answers you seek are already inside you. You just need to create the space and the stillness to hear them. So like, this could mean literally taking some time alone, you know? Like, going on a retreat, spending a weekend in nature, or just locking yourself in your room with a good book and like, turning off your phone. It could also mean like, creating more space for introspection in your daily life, like, through meditation, journaling, or just spending time in quiet contemplation. The point is to, like, intentionally create distance between yourself and the external world so that you can connect with your inner world. But, you know, the hermit isn't just about, like, hiding away from the world forever, right? It's about, like, temporarily withdrawing so that you can gain clarity and insight. It's about, like, recharging your batteries and reconnecting with your purpose. So that you can then come back into the world with, like, renewed energy and focus. It's like you can't pour from an empty cup, you know? You need to take time to fill yourself up first. And I feel like that's really what the universe is saying to you right now. You've been giving so much, you've been fighting so hard, and now it's time to replenish. It's time to nurture yourself and to reconnect with your inner source of wisdom. Now, the thing about the hermit is that it can sometimes feel a little bit scary, right? Like, the idea of being alone with your thoughts can be intimidating, especially if you've been avoiding certain feelings or issues. But like, this is an opportunity to face those things head-on, you know. To heal old wounds and to release anything that's holding you back. The hermit is a powerful symbol of self-discovery and transformation. It's about, like, embracing your shadow side and integrating all aspects of yourself. So, don't be afraid to go deep. Don't be afraid to explore those hidden corners of your psyche. That's where the real treasure lies. And like, think about that opal heart crystal you chose, right? That's all about grounding. And like, even though the hermit is about going inward, it's still connected to that grounding energy. It's about finding your inner stability, your inner foundation. It's about, like, connecting with your true self, the part of you that's always there, no matter what's going on in the outside world. So, like, this isn't about escaping reality. It's about strengthening your connection to yourself so that you can navigate reality with more grace and resilience. Okay, so how does the hermit connect to the King of Swords, the Fool, Strength, and the Seven of Wands? Well, remember the King of Swords was all about clarity and truth, right? So the hermit is like taking that clarity and going even deeper with it. It's not just about, like, understanding things intellectually, it's about, like, integrating that understanding into your being. It's about, like, embodying the truth on a soul level. Like, the King of Swords might tell you, okay, this relationship isn't working. And the hermit is like, okay, now why isn't it working? What are the deeper patterns at play here? What can I learn from this experience? It's about, like, using your intellect to illuminate your inner world. And then the Fool, right? That was all about taking a leap of faith and embracing the unknown. So the hermit is like pausing to reflect on that leap. It's about, like, integrating the lessons you've learned along the way. Like, the Fool might jump off a cliff without looking, and the hermit is like, okay, now that I've jumped, what did I learn from that experience? Would I do it again? What can I do differently next time? It's about, like, taking the time to process and integrate your experiences so that you can make more conscious choices in the future. And then there's strength. Oh, this is so important, you know? Because strength is all about inner power and courage. And the hermit is like where that strength comes from. It's about tapping into that inner well of resilience by, like, connecting with your true self. You can't really embody the energy of strength if you're not grounded in your own being, you know? You can't tame the lion if you don't know who you are. So the hermit is about, going inward to find that source of strength so that you can then come back into the world and, face your challenges with more confidence and grace. And finally, the Seven of Wands, right? That was all about feeling attacked and challenged. So the hermit is stepping back from all that and reassessing your priorities. It's about asking yourself, are these battles really worth fighting? Am I defending something that's truly important to me? Or am I just getting caught up in ego and drama? It's about detaching from the external noise and focusing on what really matters to you. The hermit helps you to discern what's worth fighting for and what's not. It's about conserving your energy and directing it towards your true purpose. So, what can you actually do with this information? How can you practically embody the energy of the hermit in your life? Well, first of all, schedule some alone time. Seriously, put it in your calendar. Treat it like an important appointment. Even if it's just for 15 minutes a day, make sure you're creating space for yourself to be quiet and to listen to your inner voice. Turn off your phone, close your laptop, and just be present with yourself. You might be surprised at what comes up. Secondly, practice mindfulness. This is a really powerful way to connect with your inner world. Pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations. Observe them without judgment. Just notice what's happening inside you. There are tons of great meditation apps out there that can help you with this. Or you can just sit in silence and focus on your breath. The point is to become more aware of your inner landscape. Also, journal. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can be a really helpful way to process your experiences and to gain clarity about your goals and priorities. Ask yourself questions like, what am I really feeling right now? What am I grateful for? What am I struggling with? What am I learning? Don't worry about grammar or punctuation. Just let your thoughts flow onto the page. And then spend time in nature. There's something really magical about being in nature, you know? It's like it automatically connects you to something bigger than yourself. Go for a walk in the woods, sit by a river, or just lie on the grass and look at the clouds. Let the beauty of nature soothe your soul and reconnect you with your inner wisdom. Consider a social media detox. Seriously. Social media can be a huge distraction from your inner world. It's so easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others or in scrolling through endless feeds of information. Take a break from it all and see what happens. You might be surprised at how much more peaceful and present you feel. And don't be afraid to say no. This is a really important part of embodying the hermit energy. You don't have to say yes to every invitation or request. It's okay to set boundaries and to protect your energy. Prioritize your own needs and make sure you're taking care of yourself. Finally, trust your intuition. This is the key to unlocking your inner wisdom. Pay attention to those gut feelings, those hunches that come out of nowhere. Your intuition is your inner guide, and it's always leading you in the right direction. Learn to trust it and to follow its lead. So yeah, the hermit is all about going inward, seeking wisdom from within, and reconnecting with your true self. It's a time for reflection, introspection, and self-discovery. It's about recharging your batteries and preparing yourself for the next chapter of your journey. And I feel like this is such an important message for you right now, especially after all that external action and challenge that you've been facing. This is your opportunity to step back, take a breath, and really listen to your soul. Okay, so that's the hermit. But what's the final piece of the puzzle? How are you going to integrate this inner wisdom into your life and move forward with clarity and purpose? Let's pull the final card and see what the universe has in store for you, okay? Okay, so that's the hermit, all about going inward. But what's the final piece of the puzzle? Oh wait, no, it's not the final card, silly me. We still have one more. But how are you going to integrate this inner wisdom into your life? How do you even do that, right? And move forward with clarity and purpose. Okay. Let's pull the next card and see what the universe has in store for you, okay? And bam, it's the Magician. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay, so after all that, inner searching and soul searching with the hermit, now you've got the Magician. This is taking all that, like wisdom and turning it into action, The magician is all about, like, manifestation, power, and making things happen. It's like you've been given all the tools you need, and now it's time to use them. So, like the magician, he's often depicted with all these symbols on his table, right? The wand, the cup, the sword, the pentacle. And those represent all the different aspects of your life. Your passion, your emotions, your intellect, your resources, your physical world. And the magician knows how to use all of those things to create what he wants. So, like, this card is telling you that you have everything you need to, like, manifest your dreams. Seriously. You've got the skills, you've got the knowledge, you've got the resources, and, like, you've got the inner wisdom. Now it's just about putting it all together and making it happen, But, like, what does that even mean, right? Okay, so maybe after all that time alone with the hermit, you've realized what you really want. Like, maybe you've figured out your true purpose. The magician is saying, okay, great, now go out there and create it. Don't just sit around and dream about it. Take action. It's like, stop thinking about it and start doing it. Or like maybe you've been feeling stuck or uninspired and the hermit helped you to reconnect with your passion. The magician is saying, okay, now use that passion to fuel your creativity. Start a new project, express yourself, share your gifts with the world. It's about taking that spark of inspiration and turning it into something tangible. And like, the thing about the magician is that he's not just about, like, wishful thinking, right? It's not just about, like, hoping things will happen. It's about, like, taking deliberate action and using your will to shape your reality. It's about, like, being intentional and focused and knowing what you want and going after it with confidence. It's about, like, believing in yourself and your ability to create the life you desire. Okay, so how does the magician connect to all the other cards, right? We had the King of Swords, the Fool, Strength, Seven of Wands, and the Hermit. Like, how does it all fit together? Well, remember the King of Swords was all about clarity and truth. The magician is like, taking that clarity and using it to set your intentions. It's about, like, knowing what you want with absolute certainty and then aligning your actions with your goals, Like the King of Swords helps you to define your vision, and the magician helps you to bring it into reality. It's like the King of Swords says, this is what I want, and the magician says, okay, now I'm going to make it happen. And then there's the Fool, right? The Fool was all about taking a leap of faith and embracing the unknown. The magician is like, taking that leap and landing on your feet. It's about, like, turning that initial spark of inspiration into a sustainable reality. Like, the Fool might jump off a cliff without knowing where he's going to land, and the magician is like, okay, I'm going to use my skills and resources to build a bridge across that chasm so that I can get to the other side safely. It's about, like, combining that sense of adventure with a sense of practicality and resourcefulness. And strength. Oh my gosh, this is so important. Strength was all about inner power and courage. The magician is like, channeling that inner power and directing it towards your goals. It's about, like, using your strength to overcome obstacles and to manifest your desires. Like, strength helps you to believe in yourself, and the magician helps you to put that belief into action. It's like strength says, I can do this, and the magician says, okay, now let me show you how. And then the Seven of Wands. This is really interesting because the Seven of Wands was all about feeling challenged and attacked, right? The magician is like, using those challenges as fuel for your fire. It's about, like, turning those obstacles into opportunities. Like, the Seven of Wands might make you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle, and the magician is like, okay, I'm going to use my skills and resources to build a machine that will help me climb that hill with ease. It's about, like, using your ingenuity and resourcefulness to overcome any challenges that come your way. And finally, the Hermit. The Hermit was all about going inward and seeking wisdom from within. The magician is like, taking that wisdom and sharing it with the world. It's about, like, using your inner knowledge to create something beautiful and meaningful that will benefit others. Like the Hermit helps you to understand yourself, and the magician helps you to express yourself and to make a positive impact on the world. It's like the Hermit says, this is who I am. and the magician says, "Okay, now I'm going to use my gifts to make the world a better place." Seriously, so what can you actually do with this information, right? Like, how can you embody the energy of the magician in your everyday life? Well, first of all, get clear on what you want. Like, really, really clear. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What do you want to create in your life? Write it down, visualize it, feel it. The more clear you are about what you want, the easier it will be to manifest it. Secondly, identify your resources. What skills do you have? What knowledge do you have? What connections do you have? What tools do you have at your disposal? Make a list of everything you can use to help you achieve your goals. You might be surprised at how much you already have. Thirdly, take action. Don't just sit around and wait for things to happen. Get out there and make them happen. Start small if you need to. Take one step at a time, but do something every day that moves you closer to your goals. Fourthly, believe in yourself. This is so important. You have to believe that you are capable of achieving your dreams. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. So, cultivate a sense of self-confidence and self-belief. Tell yourself positive affirmations. Surround yourself with supportive people. And remember all the times you've succeeded in the past. Fifthly, be open to opportunities. The universe is always conspiring to help you, but you have to be open to receiving its gifts. Pay attention to synchronicities and coincidences. Follow your intuition, and don't be afraid to take risks. Sixthly, be persistent. Things don't always happen overnight. There will be challenges and setbacks along the way, but don't give up. Keep going, keep learning, keep growing, and eventually you will achieve your goals. And remember that opal heart crystal that you chose, right? That crystal is all about grounding, and that's so important for the magician, because you need to be grounded in order to manifest effectively. You can't just be floating around in the clouds. You need to be connected to the earth, to your body, to your resources. So make sure you're taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Eat healthy food, get enough sleep, exercise, meditate, and spend time in nature. These things will help you to stay grounded and to channel your energy in a positive way. Grounded manifestation, you know? The magician is all about taking action, being resourceful, and believing in yourself. It's about using all the tools at your disposal to create the life you want. And I feel like this is such a powerful message for you right now, especially after all that inner work you've been doing with the hermit. This is your time to shine. This is your time to manifest your dreams. Okay, so that's the magician. But what's the very last little sprinkle of guidance on top? The final insight to, really seal the deal. Let's pull the final card and see what the universe has in store for you, okay? Okay, so that's the magician. So much power. But what's the very last little sprinkle of guidance on top? The final insight to, really seal the deal. Let's pull the final card and see what the universe has in store for you, okay? Drum roll, please. And we have the Six of Cups. Oh, how sweet is that? After all that manifesting energy from the magician, it's like the universe is saying, okay, now remember where you came from, remember what's truly important. You know, the Six of Cups, it's all about nostalgia, harmony, childhood memories, and just, simple pleasures. It's like seeing the world through the eyes of a child again. So, this could be a message to reconnect with your inner child, to find joy in the little things, and to, cultivate a sense of innocence and wonder. It's about remembering what made you happy as a kid and bringing that into your adult life. You know what I mean? Seriously. But it's also about kindness and generosity, sharing your blessings with others. It's about creating a sense of community and connection. So, maybe you're being called to volunteer your time, to donate to a cause you believe in, or just to be more present and supportive in your relationships. It's about, giving back and making the world a better place, one small act of kindness at a time. Okay, so how does the Six of Cups connect to all the other cards we've had so far? The King of Swords, the Fool, Strength, Seven of Wands, the Hermit, and of course the Magician. It's kind of amazing, actually. Well, remember the King of Swords was all about clarity and truth, right? The Six of Cups is softening that energy a little bit. It's about bringing compassion and understanding to the truth. So Maybe the King of Swords helped you to see a situation clearly, but the Six of Cups is asking you to approach it with more empathy and kindness. It's about, finding a way to communicate your truth in a way that's gentle and supportive, rather than harsh or judgmental. And then there's the Fool. Remember that leap of faith? The Six of Cups is reminding you that it's okay to be vulnerable and innocent, even as you take those risks. It's about, approaching new beginnings with a sense of childlike wonder and excitement. It's about, trusting that the universe will support you, even when you don't know exactly where you're going. Strength. Oh, this is so beautiful, Because strength was all about inner power and courage, and the Six of Cups is showing you where that strength comes from. It's about, connecting with your inner child and remembering the joy and resilience that you had as a kid. It's about, healing old wounds and releasing any limiting beliefs that you've carried with you since childhood. This card combination reminds you that being strong doesn't mean you have to be serious all the time. You can find strength in joy, in playfulness, and in connecting with your inner child. The Six of Cups also encourages you to extend that same compassion you give yourself to others. And then, the Seven of Wands, that feeling of being challenged and attacked. The Six of Cups is offering you a safe haven, a reminder of the good in the world. It's about surrounding yourself with people who support and uplift you, people who remind you of your inherent worth. This card is about creating a community where you feel safe and loved, a space where you can be your authentic self without fear of judgment. The Six of Cups encourages you to focus on building connections based on kindness, empathy, and shared joy, rather than getting caught up in conflict or competition. It's a reminder that true strength lies in unity and mutual support. The Hermit, seeking wisdom within. The Six of Cups is saying that some of that wisdom comes from your past, from your childhood experiences. It's about revisiting those memories and seeing them with new eyes. What can you learn from your younger self? What did you enjoy doing as a child that you've forgotten about? This card invites you to explore your past, not to dwell on regrets, but to rediscover the joy and innocence that still resides within you. It's about recognizing that your inner child holds valuable wisdom and guidance that can inform your present decisions and future path. It's your inner child is still there, waiting to be acknowledged and loved. And finally, the Magician, all that manifesting power. The Six of Cups is reminding you to use your power for good, to create a world that's filled with love, kindness, and compassion. It's about aligning your actions with your values and using your gifts to make a positive impact on the world. Remember that the most powerful magic comes from the heart. When you combine your skills and resources with genuine compassion and a desire to serve others, you can create miracles. The Six of Cups encourages you to use your manifestation abilities to bring more joy, harmony, and connection into your life and the lives of those around you. So, what can you actually do with this information? How can you, embody the energy of the Six of Cups in your daily life? Well, first of all, reconnect with your inner child. Seriously, do something that you used to love doing as a kid. Go to a playground, draw with crayons, read a children's book, or watch a cartoon. Let yourself be silly and playful. Release any inhibitions and just have fun. Secondly, look at old photos and reminisce about happy memories. Think about the people who made you feel loved and supported as a child. Reach out to them and tell them how much they mean to you. Create a scrapbook or a memory box filled with things that remind you of your childhood. Thirdly, practice acts of kindness and generosity. Volunteer your time at a local charity, donate to a cause you believe in, or simply offer a helping hand to someone in need. Small acts of kindness can have a big impact on the world. Fourthly, cultivate harmonious relationships. Focus on building connections based on empathy, understanding, and mutual respect. Forgive those who have hurt you in the past and let go of any grudges. Create a sense of community and belonging in your life. Fifthly, create a safe and nurturing environment for yourself. Surround yourself with things that make you feel happy and comfortable. Decorate your home with cheerful colors and inspiring images. Create a space where you can relax, unwind, and connect with your inner self. Sixthly, practice self-compassion. Be kind and gentle with yourself, especially when you're going through a difficult time. Acknowledge your imperfections and accept yourself for who you are. Remember that you are worthy of love and happiness, just as you are. It's like, love yourself like you would love a child. And remember that opal heart crystal that you chose, right? It's about grounding. And the Six of Cups is about, grounding yourself in those positive memories, in those feelings of connection and joy. It's about, bringing that childlike innocence and wonder into your present moment. So the Six of Cups is all about nostalgia, harmony, kindness, and reconnecting with your inner child. It's about finding joy in the simple things and creating a sense of community and connection. And I feel like this is such a beautiful and important message for you right now, especially after all that manifesting energy from the magician. Remember to use your power for good and to create a world that's filled with love and compassion. I hope that makes sense. Just remember this is one piece of a much bigger picture, and to keep exploring and trusting your own intuition. There is so much more to discover, and I'm so excited to see where this journey takes you. Okay, so that's the Six of Cups. I mean, isn't that just the sweetest little cherry on top of everything? After all that serious manifesting with the magician, the universe is giving you a cosmic hug, It's like saying, okay, you've got all this power, but don't forget the simple joys, the connections that truly matter. The Six of Cups, it's really all about that feeling of nostalgia, that warm, fuzzy feeling of childhood innocence and pure happiness. So, to bring it all together, think of it this way. The King of Swords gave you the courage to cut through the BS and see things as they really are. The Fool gave you that wild spark to just jump into something new, even if it's scary. Strength reminded you that, hey, you've got this inner lion tamer, you can handle anything. The Seven of Wands. Yeah, that was a tough one, standing your ground against all the haters, but it made you even more resilient. The Hermit helped you go inward, find your center, and really understand yourself. And the Magician. That's where you take all that inner wisdom and turn it into freaking magic, creating the life you've always dreamed of. And now, the Six of Cups is like, hold on, don't forget where you came from. Remember what makes your heart sing. Remember those simple moments of joy that make life worth living. It's like the universe is reminding you to infuse everything you do with that childlike wonder, that sense of playfulness and connection. It's about bringing more of that lighthearted energy into your day-to-day. So seriously, how does this all connect? I mean, it's like a beautiful tapestry, weaving together all these different energies. Think about it. The King of Swords, that clarity. The Six of Cups is asking you to use that clarity with compassion. It's not just about seeing the truth, but seeing it with a loving heart, Maybe you had to make a tough decision, but now it's about making peace with it. Finding forgiveness, not just for others, but for yourself. You know what I mean? And then the Fool, that crazy leap of faith. The Six of Cups is saying, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to trust. It's okay to let your guard down and just be open to the magic of life. Maybe that new beginning is actually about connecting to your inner child and really doing things that make you happy. Seriously, is that not the best thing ever? And strength. Oh, this is where it gets really good. Because strength isn't just about being tough. It's about being gentle, kind, and compassionate, especially with yourself. And that's what makes that Six of Cups extra magical here. The Six of Cups is like, hey, your inner child is where you find that resilience. Remember the joy you felt as a kid? Tap into that. Let that be your superpower. It's about accessing the purest source of love within yourself and then sharing it with others. I just love that. And then that darn Seven of Wands, standing your ground. But the Six of Cups is like, hey, you don't have to fight everyone. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who remind you of your worth, people who see the good in you, even when you don't see it yourself. It's about creating a safe space where you feel loved and supported, no matter what. It's about building genuine friendships and cultivating deeper connections. Okay? And that time with the Hermit, so solitary, but that was important. The Six of Cups is saying, Some of your greatest wisdom comes from your past, from those childhood memories. Go back, revisit them, and see what you can learn. Maybe there's a hidden talent you forgot about, a passion you abandoned, or a lesson you need to relearn. It's like unlocking those memories to unlock your inner wisdom. And you know what? That will make you so happy. And finally, the magician, all that manifesting power. The Six of Cups is like, use your magic for good. Create a world that's filled with love, kindness, and compassion. Align your actions with your values. Make a positive impact. It's about using your gifts to serve others, to bring joy and healing to the world. It's about manifesting not just for yourself, but for the collective good. Okay, so what does this actually mean for you, right? Like, how can you really bring this Six of Cups energy into your life? Well, here are a few ideas. First, reconnect with your inner child. I mean, seriously, this is so much fun. Do something that you used to love as a kid. Build a freaking fort. Color with crayons. Watch Disney movies. Just let yourself be silly and playful, you know? Don't worry about being adult. It's freeing. Second, dig out those old photos. I mean, who doesn't love looking at old pictures, right? Reminisce about happy memories. Think about the people who made you feel loved and supported. Reach out to them. Tell them how much they mean to you. Create a scrapbook. Fill it with things that remind you of the good old days. You deserve it. Third, practice acts of kindness. This is huge. Volunteer your time at a local charity. Donate to a cause you believe in. Offer a helping hand to someone in need. Even small acts of kindness can ripple out and change the world, seriously. You can impact so many lives. Fourth, nurture your relationships. That's also a big thing. Focus on building connections based on empathy, understanding, and respect. Forgive those who have hurt you in the past. Let go of grudges. Life's too short. Create a sense of community. Find your tribe. It's so important to feel like you belong. Fifth, create a sanctuary. Like, make your home a place that makes you feel safe and happy. Surround yourself with things you love. Decorate with cheerful colors. Create a space where you can relax, unwind, and connect with yourself. A space that's just for you, and you totally deserve it. Sixth, practice self-compassion. Be kind and gentle with yourself, especially when you're going through a tough time. Acknowledge your imperfections. Accept yourself for who you are. Remember, you're worthy of love and happiness just as you are right now in this moment. And that opal heart crystal, right? It's all about grounding. The Six of Cups is like grounding yourself in those positive memories, those feelings of connection and joy. It's about bringing that childlike innocence into your present moment. It's about remembering that you are loved, you are supported, and you are worthy of all the good things in life. Now, can I get an amen? So, that's the Six of Cups. All about bringing that sweetness and warmth into your life. A reminder that even with all the hustle and bustle, even with all that manifestation energy, that inner joy and childlike spirit is always there. And you know what? That's it. That's the whole reading. Phew, what a journey, right? From the clarity of the King of Swords to the sweet nostalgia of the Six of Cups. I really hope this resonated with you, and that you feel inspired to take action and create the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, you are powerful, you are loved, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. Never forget you are the magician, wielding that wand to create a life that's not only successful, but filled with joy, connection, and a whole lot of love. And don't be afraid to let your inner child come out and play. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I'm sending you all my love and positive energy. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this reading with anyone who needs a little boost of inspiration. You are amazing. You got this.